Today's York Revolution pregame show. Here's Will DeBoer.
At Peoples Bank Park in York, Pennsylvania, it's the York Revolution and the Long Island Ducks in Atlantic League baseball action. Hello everybody, Will DeBoer with you high above the surface here in downtown York, Pennsylvania, where the Revs and the Ducks will see each other for the second time in this series, and the second time over the next 24 days. They will meet in 10 of them, and if they're anything like the first game of this long slog, we're in for a real treat. Yesterday, a 1-0 Revs win. Tony Pena, 8 shutout innings, his longest outing of the year by far. Mike DeMark with his 15th save. He is 15 for 15, and he is looking just unhittable this season. The big hit for the Revs off of Darren Downs of Long Island was Andres Perez, a single up the middle in the bottom of the 7th inning to bring home Telvin Nash, who was on second after a walk and a balk, and that was the only run that Pena and company would need. The Revs 1 run on 5 hits and no errors. Long Island held to a 3-hit shutout. With that win, the Revs improving to 27-18, now 2 games ahead of the 2014 Revolution squad, which heretofore was the best team in franchise history in terms of record, well, the hottest start. So the Revs right now are 27-18. Few games up in the Freedom Division with Lancaster's loss earlier today. They are now 2.5 ahead of the Barnstormers and can make it 3 with a win tonight. Long Island falling to 24-20 after last night's game. Second in the Liberty Division behind the Somerset Patriots. Exactly half a game to be exact. So we turn our attention to the game here tonight, and we're talking about a flashback Wednesday. I know it doesn't make sense, neither does this. It's low 60s right now in central PA. 63 degrees is what I've got on our metric, 66 on the stadium thermometer. Either way, it feels more like fall than it does a couple of days before the official start of summer. And with the wind gusting, and really gusting, the flag majestically flying from left to right, that wind blowing in from left field out towards right. I think even Joel Guzman is justified wearing his hoodie tonight. It is chilly. Indeed it is, and they'll have to fight through that and fight through the pitches that each side will see. The pitching matchup today as Downtown shows up here and threatens to mess with our board. Hey, get out, get away from here, you mascot thing, I don't know. So, pitching matchups. Kelvin De La Cruz, the southpaw out of the Dominican Republic, will take the hill for the Revs. 3-5 with a 4.35 ERA in 7 starts, 8 appearances overall thus far, coming off of a tough luck loss at Bridgeport last week where he allowed 4 runs, 3 of them earned on 12 hits in 7 innings. So he was able to eat up a lot of innings, even if the Revs weren't able to score for him. He'll try and get back on track and avoid falling to 6 losses on the year. As of right now, he is the league leader in losses. As for the Ducks, Bobby Blevins taking the hill. He's 1-3 with a 5.44 ERA in 8 starts previous to this, coming off a loss at Lancaster where he gave up 6 runs on 10 hits in 4 1/3 innings. The Brer Cliff, New York native will try and get back on track for the Ducks. He had a 2.95 ERA for them in 27 starts last year, 3.83 in 14 starts. Actually, last year, it was 2 years before that he had the 2.95 ERA. He'll try and get back to that sort of pitcher, and if he's the sort of pitcher you have at your back end of your rotation, you're doing pretty darn good. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, I had a chance to speak to Andres Perez about his game-winning hit from yesterday and a couple other things. And after that, the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. All that and much more on this fine radio program. So thanks for joining us on a Wednesday night. This is the WOIK Revs pregame show.
Looking for something cool to do this weekend? Come to the coolest place in town and learn to play hockey or figure skate at the York Ice Arena. The York Ice Arena offers a Learn to Skate program for skaters of all ages and abilities, directed by ISA and USFSA qualified instructors. Skating classes range from beginner to freestyle. Hockey classes cover the basics of the game. All classes include free skate rental and 5 free skating passes, so you can try out your new skills. And remember, the coolest place in town is also available available for the coolest birthday party in town. Host your birthday bash in group spaces or with a private ice rental. Public skating at the York Ice Arena is available afternoons, evenings, and weekends. Skate for just $7 and rent your skates for just $3. Plus, you can save with discount pass books. Oh, and ask about gift cards and kids' prepaid debit cards. So if you're looking to learn something cool, come to the coolest place in town and learn to skate at the York Ice Arena. For more information and to register, go to yorkskate.com. Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop, and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Saubel's Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
Join me, Steve Zabin, mornings at 6 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Welcome back to the WOYK Revs pregame show. Revs and Ducks set to go on a chilly Wednesday night from South Central PA. Andres Perez, the hero of the moment last night. He's had quite a few big moments over the past couple of weeks. I got to speak with him in the pregame about those moments, and this is what he had to say. Talk with Andres Perez, starting second baseman for the Revs today, and one of the heroes of last night's game against Long Island. Dre, that seventh inning RBI single, what were you looking for, and what did you see?
I know it was a tight game, and we had a guy in scoring position, so I was actually trying to get him over to third base somehow, and it would be a bonus if I was be able to get him in, like get a base hit or something like that. So my approach is mainly to get him to third, so we have a better opportunity of getting him in.
And then what's the feeling when you're facing a pitcher like Downs, who has been very good for 6 innings there, and you're the one to finally crack him?
It's one of those things where it's like you kind of like your competitive juices start flowing more, and you just feel like I want to get him. He got us a few times. Throughout the game he's been dominant. But like I felt like that next at bat, like I'm gonna get to him. So, I just kind of try to stay positive and wanted to get the job done.
And then to be the man to get the run on the board for Tony after his 8 shutout innings, and DeMarc with the save there, that must have felt pretty good to back up your pitcher.
Oh yeah, Tony did an unbelievable job. He looked real strong. I think that's the most innings and pitches that he's thrown, and he didn't look tired. He was doing a great job, and I knew that once we got DeMarc on the mound, we were gonna have a real good shot to close it out. So it was a good pitching duel, and luckily we came out on top.
Now it's not just last night. You've been hitting particularly well over the last couple of weeks. What has locked in for you that's allowed you to really sustain that success?
It's been like you have certain streaks where you're doing real well, and then you kind of cool off, and lately I've been just trying to just relax a little bit, and just let the game take its course. Use what they give you. Don't try to do too much, and I felt like sometimes I try to do too much, like a lot of us on the team when we like yesterday. A lot of guys probably wanted to come up big and and win and stuff like that, but we got to just relax and just trust our abilities.
And we're a couple of weeks removed from your 500th hit with the team and the 1,000th hit professionally the very next day there. And we were joking in the booth saying, oh boy, he's going to think that every hit that he gets is going to get some slide on the board and a standing ovation.
No, it was, I kind of had an idea about the 500 hit. The 1,000 hit I didn't know, and I think my mom told me something like that. She called me and she told me, and I think I got it the next day. So, those things, they're special to me. I got the balls up, in a place, home and stuff like that. So, I just kind of like, I had a moment where I kind of like soaked it in a little bit. I was just like, wow, okay, wow, like, they add up, so, I'm appreciative about that.
It looks like your teammates and Mace were really excited for you too, especially when you got the 1,000th.
Yeah. Those guys, they definitely acknowledged me, and Mace and the rest of the team. They kind of like give me a pat on the back and handshake and stuff like that, and they kind of like appreciate like the all the years of like grinding it out.
Now, Long Island for a couple of more days today and 9 more times over the next 23 days. When you're facing a team that often over such a short span, what do you do to really get a good read on them and stay fresh against them?
Oh, man. Yeah, you kind of like you get an idea of like the guys, what kind of stuff they have, the style of game, like what kind of baseball they play. Like, do they steal bases? Or they're more like guys that like to, hit and run and stuff like that. So, you pick up on little things like that. At the end of the day, I just feel like it's just the pitchers, executing their stuff, the hitters, staying with their approaches. And, like I feel like we have a good team. We got some good hitters. So, I think that we're going to be able to do some things. So, we just try to play it one game at a time and not really try to get ahead of ourselves.
All right, Dre, thanks. Good luck today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Andres Perez, and with that hit yesterday, he stretched his hitting streak to 11 games. That matches the longest for a Revs hitter this season. Jason Repko opened the season on an 11-game streak, and if Perez gets one more hit tonight, he will make it an even dozen. Dre's batting 5th and playing second base once again tonight, so he'll have plenty of chances to do that. We're going to take one more commercial break. When we come back, the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. So stick with us here on the WOYK Revs pregame show.
Rich Eisen.
I might be the mayor of the Follows League Challenge community.
I like it. The Rich Eisen Show.
Other story that hit me last night that really ticked me off was a report that Chris Berman is retiring from ESPN. I have no idea if this is true or not. His agent, who used to be mine, told the New York Times that Chris is not retiring. This is what I know. Chris Berman's a legend. Chris Berman created SportsCenter. This man, whether it is the end of the line or not for ESPN, whoever is talking outside of the business needs to pipe down and respect what this man has done. I know we're all in this business where we talk about contracts and maybe we don't like it when the lights shine on all of us, but the bottom line is this. Who in the world is talking to somebody, multiple sources, saying Berman's not getting renewed and it's retired? Let him decide and say what he wants to do. Man, that pissed me off. Time to roll.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hey, sports fans, great news. You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Walking the dog? Perfect. Trapped at a Renegade scrapbooking fair? We're 98% glitter-free. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Fans, it's time to go inside the clubhouse for the latest on your York Revolution and tonight's matchup. It's time for the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. Now, here's the manager of the Revs, Mark Mason.
All right, mates, last night a brilliantly pitched game, and I guess you have a couple of those throughout the year, but as a pitching guy yourself, is that a rare treat to have one like that where both guys are really on?
Yeah, I mean, usually you see one or the other, that's true, but I mean, both guys were on, and I mean, it was hard scoring runs last night. It was hard getting guys on base last night. So the best part about it was we got to win 1-0, so that was a good thing.
For Pena to go 8, and also a lot of strikeouts early and then all contact after that, how would you assess the way that he kind of traversed his way through that game?
Well, I thought he had a really good fastball last night. I think that was the best fastball I've seen all year from him, and he had command of multiple pitches. I mean, I think a lot of the strikeouts for both teams, there were some shadows on the field early on, and I think that might have had something to do with a lot of the strikeouts. But even both guys were striking batters out after the shadows weren't there anymore. But no, I thought Tony threw the ball really well, and I thought their guy did too. So I thought both pitchers threw well, and obviously that was the longest outing of the year for Tony, and pitch count wise, I think as well. But he did a great job, and 8 innings, that was just enough.
Yeah, I was wondering what level of consideration there may have been for a 9th inning to at least go out there.
Well, to be honest with you, in the 8th inning, I had DePaula for Lentini. And, Tony had pitched at that point 7 2/3. They had a runner on first base, and Lentini coming up with 2 outs. And I said to Fletch, I know that I had DePaula up for Lentini, but as a pitcher, and Fletch being a pitcher, if you're going to get pulled out of the game right here with 2 outs and a runner on first in the 8th inning, I mean, I had to give Tony that hitter. And I'm glad that Tony was able to get him out, because if Tony wouldn't have got him out, then Tony would have been out of the game, which is kind of sad when you're throwing a scoreless game to that point. But, no, I mean, for me, there was no decision for the 9th inning, just because Tony had been at a pitch count level that we had not seen yet this year. And the other thing people don't realize is the in and out of the dugout. When you're in and out that many times and you're not used to going in and sitting down and going back out and back and forth like that, that has a wear and tear on you too. So once he got through 8, it was going to be Mike DeMarc all the way, and as it should be in that situation. He hasn't given up a save yet, and he doesn't have an ERA yet. So for me to leave a starter in there that has never really pitched that deep into a game yet in a 1-0 game, I just couldn't do it.
Each team with a balk last night. What were the explanations that you got, or if you even needed one? I mean, you definitely had a better vantage point than we did on some of that.
Well, I mean, their guy balked. I mean, it was more of a traditional balk. He really didn't get going. He didn't get stopped, and he broke his hands, and there were a lot of different things that went on there. Our balk was a little different. We, for some reason, we decided that we were going to do a hidden ball trick, I guess, with 2 outs and a runner on first. And, once Tony got up on the mound, once you're up on the dirt, up on the mound, and you don't have the ball, that's considered you're getting ready to pitch, which is deception, and therefore there was your balk. So we tried to do a trick to hide the ball play, and somehow we got at the time the winning run to second base with 2 outs when he could have still been at first. So not our players' finest moment out there trying to trick everybody. I really wasn't even aware that we were trying to do that. We do not have a play like that. But somehow Nash and those guys thought that they would be able to pull that one off, and as long as Tony wouldn't have climbed up on the mound, we would have been okay. But once he got up there on the mound, now it's a balk for sure. So that was how we balked the runner to second base.
Have you ever seen it work?
I'll be honest with you, I have seen it work, and it worked. It actually worked in when I was managing in Frontier League. We picked a guy off second base with that play. But the difference was my pitcher stayed down and was using the rosin bag. He didn't get up on the rubber, and the runner took a lead off second base, and my shortstop tagged him out. So I did see it work one time, but we really weren't trying that last night.
Well, one roster addition today, Perdomo becomes active, and I know he threw during the game last night, so I don't know that you got to see any of that, but does he go right into a late inning situation, or do you want to see him once or twice first?
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be late innings. It would be middle of the game at this point. He threw a bullpen yesterday during the game. Fletch said he liked everything he saw. Velocity was good. The angle was good, but for me to use him late in the game right now, I probably wouldn't do that, so he'd probably be one of the first guys in after the starter, if the starter went out in the middle of the game.
All right, thanks a lot. Good luck here tonight.
Thank you.
Mark Mason with Darrell Henry on the Broadway Transmission Manager's Report. The Revs have taken the field, and lo and behold, they're wearing the alternate football style uniforms again. The 3rd time in 4 games they have worn those, and they lost the previous 2 against Lancaster, so we'll see about that. Here's the anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. And oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yes, it does. Our national anthem, nice rendition there. Sounds a little bit like Darius Rucker from Hootie and the Blowfish. He's also got a solo career now. Starting lineups brought to you by Flying Feet, as usual. For Kevin Bias's Long Island Ducks, virtually identical to last night. Phelan Lantini in right field. Dan Lyons at short. Ruben Gotay at second base. Tyler Colvin at first. Cody Puckett at third base. Mike Blank, he was the DH yesterday. He is catching tonight. Blake T. Cody out in center field. Mike Dowd moves from the catcher's position to designated hitter. He's still batting eighth. And Anthony Vega, who had 2 of the 3 Long Island hits last night, is in left field batting ninth for Bobby Blevins, the right-handed starter, making appearance number 9 of the year for the Long Island Ducks. For Mark Mason's York Revolution, Jason Repko in right field, Isaiah Tejeda catching, Joel Guzman DHing. Telvin Nash broke out of a slump with a double yesterday. He's batting fourth and playing first base. Andres Perez going for a dozen hits, a dozen games with hits tonight in a row. Second baseman and the fifth batter. Alfredo Marte out in center for the first time as a Rev. He's batting sixth. Brian Pounds at third base. Charlie Thurber is out in left field. He is batting eighth tonight against the right-handed Blevins, and with the wind blowing out to right field. And Josh Wilson batting ninth as the shortstop. They'll try and get runs on the board for Kelvin De La Cruz. 3-5 with a 4.35 ERA. Coming off of a start where he bent a bit but didn't entirely break. In Bridgeport, he will try and break the Ducks tonight. And so now as Phelan Lantini walks up to the dish, we turn it over for the Dasher Investment Services first pitch to the voice of the York Revolution for these 10 years and many more. Here is Darrell Henry.
Well, thank you, Will. And it is a blustery evening, unseasonably cool and windy here in York. Lantini in there, and De La Cruz's first pitch of the night is taken up high. Underway, and the sun's shining, although the temperature just 63 degrees as we get started at 6:34. Pitch to Lantini is lined into left center. Coming in on a dive is Marte, and it drops in front of him for a hit. And he hesitated a bit. It's his first start in center. Maybe a bit of a misread. And also you've got the wind at 19 miles an hour left to right, which might have helped grab that ball. And Marte trying to make up for it, diving straight forward. It lands in front of him. Lantini, who had a 12-game hitting streak snapped last night, has a leadoff hit here tonight.
And for Marte, I suppose there's nowhere to go but up right here. He doesn't make a play out now, but now he's gotten that out of his system. He can make all the rest of the plays.
There's Dan Lyons, who looks at a strike in at the knees. Played up tonight is Ted Detweiler. Brian DeBrouwer at first, Buzz Albert at third. Yes. Lions are K-man tonight. There's the stretch from De La Cruz. And the 0-1 fastball right over the plate for a ball. So they called it high. The Ducks are in their alternate orange jerseys again. And as Will mentioned, the Revs in the football-style alternate whites with the white front-paneled hats tonight, gold brim, navy back. Pitch from Calvin, that's down in the dirt and scooped in front of the plate by Tejeda, but Lantini saw it right away and took off. And he'll advance on what will go down as a wild pitch. Now, right away, a runner at second base and nobody out for Long Island. Lions hitting at 306. And also tied for the league lead in doubles with 13. De La Cruz has his sign. And the 2-1, that missed high and away. Calvin trying to end a 4-game skid personally here tonight. And in those 4 losses, he's given up just 3 earned runs in 3 of the 4. 2 of those, though, he didn't go as long as he would have liked. He did go 7 his last time out, but the Revs were held in check. Pitch to Lyons is skied in center. Marte will get another chance. It's way up there in the bright blue. And in a couple of steps, he'll squeeze it. A pop fly in shallow straightaway center. No advancement from Lentini. And De La Cruz with a big first out. His last win was here at home May 10th against New Britain with 5 scoreless, a 3-1 win. Last time out, as Will mentioned, 7 innings, 12 hits, but only 4 runs and only 3 of those were earned, and he did not walk anybody. So he battled and had a quality start, season high in innings. Here's Ruben Gotay, and he takes a strike over the inner half. Gotay had one of Long Island's 3 hits last night. He's hitting at .288. Has 1 home run, 9 ribbies for the big league vet. Switch hitter bats right. And De La Cruz deals and missed away, trying a cutter. Working with Tejeda behind the plate. De La Cruz's 7 innings last time, his longest start since early last year when he was in the Mexican League. Now set at the belt, couple of looks, and the 1-1 swung on, line to left. Coming in is Thurber, and it'll land in front of him for a hit. And he'll fire it toward third, overshot Pounds, but De La Cruz is there to back up. Now it's a base hit for Gotay into left. And Thurber did the right thing. He was not going to have a chance to make a play, and he waited back a half step for the big hop. First and third. And no damage done yet, but Long Island with him at the corners and 1 out for Tyler Colvin.
There's your first instance of the wind wreaking havoc in this game. If that's a normal line drive on a normal day, it's probably hanging up for Thurber, and he makes the catch. Not so with the powerful gusts coming in from the direction of the nemesis.
Left on left against Colvin. First pitch is a slider for a called strike. De La Cruz has at times this year been burned early in games, so he starts Colvin off speed there and gets ahead of him. Going to be a little less predictable with men on base, perhaps. And the 0-1, fastball and a half swing. He went 89, down and away. Good stuff from De La Cruz. Colvin hitting .381 with men in scoring position. Overall, just .227, but the Ducks, who lead the league in runs, they lead the league in batting at .286 and 10 points higher with men in scoring possession. The pitch is swinging a bounce foul off the padding behind home, just right of the screen. The pitchers earlier today had pitcher's BP, which usually becomes home run derby.
Oh, yes.
That was the treat for their shutout last night. But Calvin starting this game, I'm sure, had to unfortunately sit out. I missed it today, doggone it. There's the 0-2. He drops down and missed inside. Breaking ball there, 1-2.
Yeah, I can report that 2 pitchers hit home runs during that home run derby. It was Ronnie Scutters that hit a couple, but he was thought of at one time to be a first baseman, so really no surprise. And then Michael Click, they said, cleared the arch nemesis.
Into the wind.
Into the wind. Imagine how far that thing would have gone if it was blowing out.
Pitch, breaking ball. He shoots it in the air in left center. Thurber hustles over. He'll make the grab. Lentini, though, will tag from third. Throw goes into second. Lentini scores, and Long Island with a first inning run. Sac fly from Colvin. who took it the other way. Good piece of hitting on the line drive to left. And for Lentini, his 37th run scored, 8 more than any other player in the league.
Yeah, just one of many categories that Phelan Lentini is near the top in. 37 runs now, 60 hits, 85 total bases. Doubles, he's near the top as well.
Here is Cody Puckett, who watches a strike over the inner edge.
He's your prototypical leadoff hitter. And a guy like that who just gets things going, he can make any team a good one.
He had 19 runs on that 12-game hitting streak. Pitch to Puckett, he chases up high and swings through it. And it's 0-2.
Well, Puckett must have seen that one soaring outside and figured he could drive it the other way. And that's how you got to approach a day like this, when pulling the ball as a right-hander is going to be a non-starter. You got to hit it into the wind and see if you can drive it that opposite direction. And for Puckett, who's probably reoriented himself to face those outside pitches, just swung right through it.
0-2. And just inside, and De La Cruz is perturbed. Shaking his head, looking skyward in frustration. Thought he had him there. First two were away, and then a good pitch coming in, trying to freeze him up, and he did, but did not get the call.
Perhaps the umpires are thinking that way now, too.
Puckett hitting at 285 for the year. Here's the 1-2. And he swings and launches one high in the air and left. Busy inning for Thurber, who comes in, and he'll call off Wilson, and he's got it. A little stagger step underneath as the wind gusting brought that way in toward the infield in shallow left, but Thurber puts it away. 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left. At the end of a half, it's Long Island 1, and the Revs coming up.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I just like to say that y'all rock, man.
You can be bad, and as long as you're in on it, like you're sort of in on the joke in Philadelphia. Yeah, we're so bad, but hey, you get Ben Simmons, then maybe it's worth it. What if you don't get Ben Simmons? What if you have the 4th pick? What if you get the 3rd pick? What if you missed out on Ingram from Duke? You wanted to be bad to get good. You got bad and are still bad.
Dan Patrick.
Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Gone shopping with the wife? No problem. Tongue stuck to a flagpole? Pass the time after you've called the fire department. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Come on! Colin Cowherd.
Draymond Green, in my opinion, will not end his career as a Warrior. He will wear people out. When you're winning, the egos are fine. What if OKC knocks him out? How hard is Draymond Green to deal with then? They had guys that talked a lot and had egos. Notice how they started wearing each other out when a few losses piled up?
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK. Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Revs trail 1-0 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. They've been held to just 1 run in each of the last 2 games. No runs the game before that. And facing Bobby Blevins, who makes his 9th start. 1-3 with a 5.44 ERA. Long-time Duck now. 41 and a third innings, 54 hits. He's walked 7 while striking out 29. Opponents hitting .316, and he has served up the long ball with 8 home runs in 8 starts.
Well, the Revs will try and restart the offense here. And you look at the last 4 games and you think, okay, if Revs pitching has only given up 11 runs over the last 4 games at Peoples Bank Park, well, that's great. We've won all 4 games, right? Nope.
Yeah, it's been a strange stretch here in recent days as Repko digs in. And Blevins' first pitch of the game is right over for a strike. Repko tied for 8th in the league in hitting. entering the night at 308. Revs' top 3 hitters in the order, all in the top 10. Blevins, a high leg kick. The righty comes home and missed away. Blevins, 6-foot righty, 31 years old, from Syracuse, New York. Went to Lemoyne College in Syracuse. He deals, and a swing and a foul back. Well, the Orange don't have a baseball team, so I guess that was the next best thing.
Well, he just took a long way around to wear orange as a baseball player. Now he's doing it for Long Island.
13th round pick of the Dodgers in 07. 1-2, and a fastball just outside on Repko, the former first round pick of the Dodgers out of high school. And Blevins, a nod yes over the glove, grabs the grip, fires home, and a foul back. Repko fouls it against the screen and hangs in there.
Blevins got a very classic style delivery. The big wind-up, a lot of movement of the arms.
He's got the high pants as well. Some fluorescent orange on those spikes.
No matter what generation you say, that's a baseball player.
He deals, and a called third strike. Repko backing away, thinking it was outside, and then he heard the strike call. And looking back, had a few words as he heads off. A strikeout to begin the night for Blevins. On our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest tonight, if a Revs player goes yard, one lucky fan wins a prize pack from the Revs and Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. Brian Schaefer is our contestant tonight. Good luck to you, Brian.
If he's going to win, Darryl, the Revs are probably going to have to go to the opposite field, and that's what Mace was saying they were doing. All throughout BP, nobody tried to pull the ball. They all hit it to the right and center field.
Here's Isaiah Tejeda, who watches a strike. They did the short tossing today, sitting on the seat, and designed to keep the swing shorter and combat that tendency to try to pull in this ballpark. Over the years, that strategy has paid off. Here's a liner to left field, but right at Anthony Vega, backing up into the shadows of the arch nemesis, and he handles it for out number 2. Tejeda coming in the night second in the league in hitting at .339, and only the injured Duck, Lou Ford, at .348 is hitting higher.
After Steve Lombardozzi signing with the Washington National Organization earlier this week, so you take Ford out for his injury, and Tejeda is the active leader in the Atlantic League in hitting.
Boom. Here's Joel Guzman, who's DHing tonight. Revs down 1-0 in the first, and Blevins fires just outside. Guzman 10th in batting at .307, tied for third in dingers with 7, third in ribbies with 28. Pitch from Blevins is over for a called strike.
Yeah, all of a sudden, the Revs have 3 of the top 10 hitters in the Atlantic League. Repko's at .308, that's 9th. And Tejeda and Guzman, that's a pretty good top of the order.
The wind and the 1-1 swung on and cracked to center. Going back is Tikoti. It's carrying, and it's off the base of the wall, right under the LED lights, and Guzman will cruise in with a double. Hammered it to right center, deep in the outfield, and it hit the padding right at the bottom of the fluorescent lights, and I'm sure Scott and Brian are happy about that they don't have to replace another bulb.
Guzman slowed into what looked like his home run trot. I thought that he got that one over the wall. Unfortunately for him, Tikoti and the Ducks aren't able to get the ball into the infield fast enough. Otherwise, that could have been some real trouble.
Just sat there against the padding at the base. It hit and basically stuck. Here's Talvin Nash, who last night contributed in a big way. He doubled high off the fence in center and was stranded, but then walked and scored the only run his next time in the 7th, as he looks at a big curveball here for strike 1. So last night I would think maybe a start, Will, of getting him back in gear.
Well, it's certainly a good sign if you see him head to the deepest part of the ballpark and get extra bases out of it.
League leading 20th extra base hit, 11 of which are homers. He's got a 3-home run lead on the rest of the crew. Batting average at .273 entering the night. I hear Bam Bams in the crowd. The Thunder Sticks given out to the Boomers Book Club kids. Pitch to Nash is grounded foul, third base side. Revs trying to answer the Ducks' first inning run. It's 1-0 Long Island. Guzman the 2-out double, and now Nash at the dish.
On a normal day, you'd want to pitch Nash away since he's susceptible to swinging at the low and outside slider. On a day like this, though, I would think the Blevins will come inside on Nash because you've got the natural defense of the harsh wind out in left field. You can come in on him, and if Nash is trying to go opposite field, you'll jam him every time.
Pitch here is a breaking ball away. Kind of a flatter hook from Blevins. May have dropped down slightly, but had big side-to-side break on it. 1-2 the count. And he stretches, he deals, and a breaking ball fouled into the stands, first base side. Nash able to reach it and hang in there. It's about the only thing he could have done with it. Right up behind the Revs dugout. And hopefully all are okay. They say that they are. A lot of kids here tonight. It's a third redemption day for Boomers Book Club.
They must all be reading Lord of the Flies with those sticks like tribal drums.
Pitch here is down and away, and Nash having a good battle. 2-2. Yeah, Mace said today not one player pulled the ball. They all tried to stay short and go oppo. And we'll see if that pays off. Just trying to avoid attempting to do too much. Nash a step out as time is called. Blevins leaning forward as he looks, and he's set. 2-2, and that's way outside. Now Nash will run it full. And even compared to some of his at-bats over the weekend, this is a marked difference as he works it all the way to 3-2.
He's showing the patience at the plate, and well, he's showing the patience at the plate. I didn't really have an and beyond that. It was just
He's also showing the patience at the plate.
No kidding.
And now he'll ask for time and back out again. Blevins first came to Long Island in 2012. He's been there on and off since then.
Part of those two championship teams in 12 and 13.
Couple of looks back, the stretch, the 3-2. And just outside, good eye from Nash, who's been rung up a bunch here lately. And I think it'd be human nature to fear that pitch being called. Blevins and crew thought that they had it, but it was off the plate. That's his 28th walk, which is second most in the league. And he'll let the next guy in line try to do it. Andres Perez coming up.
11's been sort of the number of death for the Revs this year. The two longest hitting streaks have been 11, but they haven't gone to 12. Telvin Nash has been stuck on 11 home runs for about a week and a half, but with the base hit here, Dre can get himself to a dozen and break that curse of 11.
372 on his 11-game streak. He's up to 280 overall. First pitch is outside for ball one. Last night came through with what he told you. He was trying to just hit it behind Nash and move him, but he was able to find the opening up the middle. That was the only run. 7th inning single, 1-0. Off of Darren Downs, who struck out a career-high tying 11 otherwise. Pitch to Dre is fouled back into the net. Had a good rip at that one.
Boosting his numbers in all the categories as he leads in. Still a couple of shy of Chris Nowak in the home run total. And even then, Darryl, he's been with the franchise so long and broken so many records. He's only 32 years old. He turned about a month ago now. Conceivably, you could see him playing for the York Revolution for another 3 or 4 years, especially when he's playing at such a high level.
And he absolutely loves his home here. Here's the stretch and the pitch, and it's a called strike on the outer edge. Blevins shifts in front, 1-2.
That was about the same spot as the Nash ball 4. I think ended up calling that one a strike because Blevins hit his spot. Blank had to reach out to try and get the ball to Nash. He didn't have to reach at all on that pitch.
Now deals, and a ground ball near the line at third. Sliding backhand play pocket, and a long throw in the dirt and held by Tyler Colvin. Former big leaguer makes the scoop on the throw from another former big leaguer Puckett on the other side. A fine play at both corners. Great pick at first. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And we go to the second. Long Island the early 1-0 lead.
Broadway transmission? I don't know how they do it.
We've been in business for 60 years at the same location.
I don't know how they do it.
It's our long-term nationwide warranties.
Oh, and don't forget our online appointment scheduling.
I still don't know how they do it.
They toted my van at no cost with my repair.
It's our ATRA certified technicians. Don't forget the good-looking genius in the office.
Come on, man. I know they helped me with financing. Still, with my bad credit, I don't know how they do it.
I did my research and felt comfortable that Broadway is a AAA approved specialty repair shop. I showed my AAA card and saved some hard-earned cash.
I was happy to get a $100 rebate in the mail after the job was done.
I sure don't know how they do it, but I do know they get it done, and they get it done right.
Broadway transmission. We'll get your shift together and back on the road fast. Check us out on the web at BroadwayTrans.com or stop in and see how it's done.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
American Phil, as we know, the first horse to win the Triple Crown since 1978 in the front. He breeds 2 to 3 times a day.
Yes.
And has been with over 100 mares. He's gained 170 pounds since retiring. Essentially, his days.
He's like the Pablo Sandoval of horses.
Hanging out in the field, eating some hay.
Is this the button that plays? The Rich Eisen Show.
Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
One nothing Long Island at the end of a fairly lengthy first inning. Revs with that 2-out battle made Blevins work. Daly Cruz 19 pitches in the first as Mike Blank leads off and launches one in the air in left center, but the wind will kill that. Pushes it back to Marte from center like a high fade on the golf course. And Marte the catch, a 1-pitch out. Always love those. Good way to start the inning. Blake Tacody coming up. Tacody hitting at 241 with 3 homers, 10 driven in. Against lefties, he's hit only 154. Long Island's got 2 position guys on their bench, including Sean Burrows. Pitch from De La Cruz is in for a strike. They've got a couple that are banged up, including Lou Ford and Delta Cleary Jr.
Burrows was a little banged up over these first couple of games.
The next one is across at the knees for a strike, 0-2. Burrows is on their lineup card, but not in the lineup for either game. Now the pitch, and that's down low. Cleary and Ford are both on the DL on our well-spanned sports medicine injury report. And the Revs getting Tyrell Harris reactivated today, so he is on the card and in the bullpen. Left shoulder strain that he suffered. 1-2, and a check on a pitch in. They'll appeal at third, and no, says Buzz Albert. To Cody, some major league time with the Padres and White Sox. First-year Duck. Long Island starting the day half a game out of first. The 2-2, and that just missed inside. And Tim Detweiler flinching as he took a long look at the cutter. Daly Cruz trying to front door that one. And now winds, and the payoff pitch, a swing and a foul tip. Just got a piece as it glanced off Tejeda's glove. Cody keeps it alive.
Tejeda getting much more experience behind the plate in the last couple of weeks. He's been almost exclusively used as a catcher. You remember earlier in the season he was all over the place. Third base for a game, the corner outfield positions. Now he's settled in as catcher.
And this one chopped foul into the stands between the net and the Revs dugout. Well, he's done a wonderful job defensively, too.
Threw out his first stolen base attempt a couple of days ago, too. And we knew he had an arm.
De La Cruz back to the plate and a swing and a miss. Good fastball down and away. It wasn't his hardest one. He was just trying to locate one. And Tecody swings through it. 2 down in the inning.
Sometimes it's not all speed. If you can locate it at a place where you absolutely know that the hitter's not going to get it, you can afford to take a couple of miles an hour off and still end up with the strikeout and save yourself for a little bit later.
I'll bring on Mike Dowd with 2 men down. 1-0 Long Island leads it here in the second inning. And De La Cruz the pitch, and it missed a little bit high. De La Cruz, the shadows are starting right behind the mound, but at 6'5", he's standing in sunlight. Now winds and deals, and drops that one in for a strike, a changeup.
Yeah, but it's this time of year when the shadows are going to be the most effective because we're right near the beginning of summer, so the most daylight we'll get all season. We're going to have shadows like we haven't had in April and May.
And this one is skied to center. The wind will twist it towards shallow right center. Marte is in from center, and he's got it. Right next to Repko, who's in right tonight. Marte the catch for his third putout already. And De La Cruz with a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the second here tonight. It's the Ducks 1 and the Revs 0.
It's the angles, the ball skills, the corner kicks. It's knowing how to shield a defender off the ball. It's knowing how to make a wall pass. It's knowing how to curl the ball, how to chip it, how to trap it, how to launch it, how to finish it. It's soccer, and nobody knows that better than Flying Feet sports shoes. Flying Feet. Suit up for soccer at Flying Feet, where players new to the game find everything they need, and collegiate-level players find all that and more. Soccer shoes for men, women, and children from the names that know the game. Adidas, Diadora, Lotto, and Nike. Players choose Flying Feet to get the right shoe at the right price, plus a huge selection of soccer socks, soccer shorts, shin guards, and sports bags. Even referees get the nod at Flying Feet, where refs come for all their gear. Individual players, entire teams, if it's soccer, it's Flying Feet sports shoes, the sportswear specialty store without specialty store prices. Flying Feet. 1511 Mount Rose Avenue, just off exit 18 of I-83, next to Battery Warehouse.
Hi, this is Tom Dasher, president of Tom Dasher Investment Services. I specialize in retirement planning and strategies to meet individual personal goals. Whether you are looking for wealth accumulation or to maximize your retirement income. Oh, heck, this is sounding just like another commercial. Hey, listen, it's this simple. We use risk-free investment vehicles, whether you are looking to still build wealth accumulation or you want retirement income or a combination of both. It is all about getting your money parked in the place that will benefit you the most. If you want to do that, call me. My office number is 246-3879, or my mobile is 487-2096, or contact me at my new website at tomdasher.com.
For local sports on your smartphone, search WOIK at the App Store.
One 0 Long Island as we go to the bottom of the second tonight. Alfredo Marte to lead things off. Oh, and he got drilled. Bobby Blevins' first pitch in near his hip. Now the first pitch of the inning, and Marte is on base on the hit batter. Huh. Painful way to start the inning.
A little bit. It's been an interesting start of the game for Marte out in center field, having to deal with a wind, and now he's got one right in the belt line.
Here's Brian Pounds. By the way, the Revs today activating Luis Perdomo. We talked about him with Mace. He is in the bullpen tonight. And the stretch, first pitch to Pounds is a called strike on the outside corner. Pounds hitting at .234, 4 home runs and 22 knocked in. Third baseman Puckett was up slightly on the first pitch. He'll back up a bit now. On the stretch from Blevins, the 0-1, and that's down and away. Knocked down by Blank, and Marte took off, and he'll make it without a throw. He was ready and took off right away. It'll be a wild pitch. Blank backhanding, but unable to collect it cleanly.
And he ends up sending it in the opposite direction, which his momentum is carrying him. He was moving to his right to stop, but he ends up flipping it to his left. No chance to get that one at all. A nice read by Marte to recognize that.
Now a chance for Pounds, who will at least try to move Marte along further. And both corners are in on the edge of the grass. Here's the stretch, the 1-1, and it misses high and away. 1-0 Long Island here in the bottom of the second, but the Revs an early threat this inning after threatening with 2 outs in the first inning. Lights are partially coming on here. The 2-1, and a swing and a miss. Blevins took something off, down and away.
Pounds has been striking out a lot in this homestand. He's 3 for 14, 7 times he has been punched out.
If he can put one in play here and move Marte, it'd be a productive out. We'd like to at least get that done. The whole infield back now. 2-2, and he swings and drives one into the gap in right center and down for a hit. All the way back to the fence. Marte scores and pounces into second with a stand-up double. That'll move him, and then some, and it's 1-1 as Pounds goes to the opposite gap.
If the wind's not whipping, maybe Tacoti gets this one. Not a chance, though, with that gust, and Marte holding up just to make sure it falls. Once it did, he was taken off running, and there was no way you were going to catch him.
We'll bring up Charlie Thurber, who makes the start in left tonight. Tied at 1, and the Revs looking for the early lead. Puckett in on the grass from third, a pick play on from short, and Pounds dives back with Lyons cutting in from behind. Thurber in 6 games with York, 2 for 13. He has driven in 3. He's the only guy in the lineup tonight that would pull one with the wind behind it.
Sat yesterday with the lefty Downs pitching. Now he's in against the righty Blevins.
First pitch is outside for ball 1. Blevins made it to AAA briefly with the Dodgers in 2010. Then he spent some time in the Can-Am League with Rockland and acquired from there by Long Island late in 2012, part of their first of back-to-back championship runs. Pitch here, tails down and away. It's 2-0. And then he spent some time in Taiwan recently as well, last year, shuttling back and forth to Long Island. And with the Ducks, 4-4 last season. An ERA in the upper 3s. He deals, and a swing and a high fly, shallow right. Coming in is Lentini, and he settles under it. Catch is made. Pounds will have to stay where he is, and he has to duck as the throw came into short. One down. Lentini points into him and says, "My bad." Went head hunting on that throw in.
Talk about your duck hunter.
Now, big first out for Blevins, and Josh Wilson will dig in. Wilson rounding out the order tonight, hitting a .258 with 4 home runs. Blevins 9-5 for the Ducks 2 years ago with an ERA under 3 in 27 starts. First pitch to Wilson, swung on and looped, shallow center, and it is going to drop, and Pounds was deked and is going back to second base, and he'll be holding there. It's a hit, though, for Wilson. Pounds was halfway, and at one point he thought for sure it was going to be caught, and he not only stopped, he was going all the way back to second, so he does not advance. But Wilson with the blue pit, and they have 2 men on. Back to the top of the order, and Jason Repko. if Pounds gets the initial read, he can score on that, but he didn't want to leave it to chance, and then I don't know if somebody faked him. Pitch to Repko is fanned on. First pitch fastball. Repko struck out looking in the first. Revs with their third hit. To Long Island's 2 here early. Game tied 1-1. Ducks a run in the first. Revs with 1 here in the second and looking for more. Blevins the 0-1, and that misses outside. Ball and a strike on Repko. He's hitting .350 with men in scoring possession. Revs as a team are in the 270s in that department. Not bad. Rough stretch over the weekend, but they are one of the top scoring teams overall. As Repko takes in the dirt, Blank blocks it. 2 balls, 1 strike. First and second and 1 out. Revs are 4th in total runs. And of course, leading the league by a wide margin in homers with 49. Sugar Land next with 38, but the focus earlier today was shortening up and providing more situational hitting, more base hits total. Pitch to Repko is high and tight. And that one got away from Blevins. And the count now 3-1. Tejeda on deck as Repko will operate with a good hitting situation here. Blevins with his sign. The 3-1, and that's off the plate away. Ball 4 on Repko. Second walk issued by Blevins along with a hit batter. And the bases loaded for Isaiah Tejeda. Tied at 1 here. We'll pause for station identification on Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Well, on the blue hit from Wilson, if Pounds only makes it to third, which is more likely, we would have had this same situation anyway, as the walk has loaded the bases. So here's Tejeda, who lined out to left his first time. The pitch from Blevins is over for a strike. 1-1 game. Revs trying to take the lead here early tonight.
Tejeda only 2 previous at-bats with the bases loaded this year. He is 1 for those 2, and he's driven in a couple of runs.
Hit it hard his first time up, but right at Vega and left. The 0-1, and a slider breaks away. Overall, with men in scoring position, 389 for Tejeda. For the year, came in at 339, top active in the league. With Lombardozzi gone and Ford injured. Now Isaiah is asking for time and backing out. He does more to try to disrupt the rhythm of an opposing pitcher than any hitter in the order. And if they're taking a while, he's not bashful about asking for time and leaving the box. Now back in there, the stretch, and the 1-1 slider just missed away. And a good eye from Isaiah to lay off. The 40th pitch from Blevins here in the first 2 innings. 18th this inning. And they're going to do some stirring in that bullpen. They have 11 relievers available. Blevins ready. The 2-1. And a slider just missed in. That one almost ran back. Blevins was hoping it would. And now he's got no margin for error. 3-1 with them loaded. Tied at 1. Revs trying to forge in front. And Blevins ready. The 3-1. Swing and a drive, right center field to Cody, back on it, it's gone! Grand slam, home run! Isaiah Tejeda, a low liner in right center, and it clears the LED board. Right onto the base of the lawn. It's a slam. And his third home run of the year gives the Revs a 5-1 lead here in the second inning. The Revs with their second slam, and Tejeda puts them in front in a big way here early on.
Wind be darned, that thing's getting out no matter the elements. My goodness.
A missile from Tejeda, and here's Guzman who takes up high.
Here's the thing, Dale, you never see a grand slam coming, but okay, yes you do. You saw that one coming. You knew he was going to have to groove a fastball in there.
Now swinging a chopper near the line at third and foul. Michael Burgess had the Revs' other slam in the game against Southern Maryland, and Tejeda goes oppo for it. His third home run, one of the others was an oppo 3-run shot on a night where he hit 2. He's got his second 4 RBI game along with that night where he hit 2 home runs against Southern Maryland. Yeah, here's a swing and a tapper, and it's foul along the line at third, and Guzman took the helmet off right away. I think he got some dirt up in his eye on that swing. And he'll take a moment. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tejeda's 2 home run, 4 RBI game. Actually against Somerset, I should say, May 27th, not Southern Maryland. With 1 swing matching his season high in runs driven in. Here's the 1-2 to Guzman, and a swing and a foul back. Now what a shot. Just a low tracer, a heat-seeking missile that got up and over the LED board in right center. A souvenir for somebody out on the grass. Pitch to Joel, a breaking ball, and he hits it on the ground off the end of the bat. It's short, it's Lyons scooting left. He'll get in front of it and make the throw. And that's out number 2. That was the 50th home run of the year for the Revs. Also makes a winner out of Brian Schaefer on our Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care home run contest. Brian, congrats. You can stop by the Apple Chevrolet ticket office at your convenience and win your grand prize.
And how?
Well, that certainly put a jolt of energy in this place. Here's Talvin Nash. And a fastball misses away. Folks are kind of bundled up tonight. The Revs held to a combined 2 runs their previous 3 games, have 5 this inning. Pitch to Nash is down and away, the 8th hitter of the inning. It's their biggest inning thus far here in the month of June. Here's the 2-0. And a swing and a well-hit ball in deep left center to Cody. Watching this one, it's gone! Talvin Nash, a home run just left of the batter's eye in center. Over the other LED board as it bounces back onto the field, but it cleared. And Nash with his league-leading 12th. And the Revs on top 6-1. Another line drive, and they're teeing off for the long balls here.
Well, they got Vance warming up at the bullpen right now. They might want to get him in really quickly because Talvin Nash just broke the wind. Okay, that snicker all you want.
Broke wind.
Yes, Vince. Straight line shot into left field, into that playground area. Phenomenal.
A trash can out there was in harm's way. It hit something and bounced back in, but it got up and over, and 2 low liners to either side of the batter's eye going for home runs here in this second inning. Tejeda the slam, Nash the solo shot. And that short BP may have done wonders. The Revs are back to doing what they do best, but they're doing it to the middle of the field here tonight. not pool happy by any stretch here early. Here's Dre, the 9th hitter of the inning, and he swings and lines one right to short. Hit it right on the nose, but right at Lyons for the 3rd out. Good swing, though. He was right on it, and the Revs with a 6-run inning powered by 2 big blasts. Tejeda the slam, Nash the solo shot, a total of 4 hits, nobody left. And we go to the 3rd, the Revs with an early 6-1 lead.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community
and hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Ross Brothers Barbecue is serving up the hits every Saturday night this season at People's Bank Park. Stop by Arch Street Eats on the third base corner and load up on delicious, fresh-made local barbecue. All of Ross' sauces and sides are made from scratch daily. All meats are smoked for an authentic barbecue done right. Ross Brothers also offers drive-through, dine-in, and carry-out from the restaurant at 3096 Carlisle Road in Dover, as well as delivery and full-service catering. Ross Brothers can cater any sized event from fundraisers to graduation parties to weddings. Ross Brothers Barbecue every Saturday night at People's Bank Park.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
6-1 the lead as we start the 3rd. De La Cruz missing high on Anthony Vega, rounding out the order for Long Island tonight. And De La Cruz, who had the offense scored just 1 run in his last start, out in front early. He misses down low in the next one. And he was in that dugout for some time while all of that was taking place. 2-0 on Vega, who's hitting .480 his last 8. And the lefty looks at one letter high for ball 3.
I'll tell you, pitching a 1-0 shutout's got to feel awfully good, but I think a close second has to be when you walk out after your offense has just scored 6 runs for you, and he's turned a 1-run deficit into a 5-run cushion.
Fires here, and there's a strike over the inside corner. Yeah, that changes the feel here early. Vega at 305 overall. De La Cruz turns and fires, and that's a little low. The one thing you really didn't want to do after that big inning was a leadoff walk, and Vega is on to start things. A 6-1 lead as we go to the top of the order, and Phelan Lentini, who singled and scored in the first. Revs haven't scored a whole lot for De La Cruz in recent starts, 2 or fewer in 3 of his last 4. Pitch to Lentini is right down the middle. There's a strike. Vegas 6 for 8 in steals, but they're down 5 here early, and that's one way to shut down a running game. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 swung on and bounced softly foul, third base side.
Of the Revs season-long starters, De La Cruz lowest run support per game, 2.7 through his 7 starts. That number will go up tonight.
Longtime starter, we knew him as a reliever with Somerset last year, but even earlier in the season last year, starting in Mexico. He sets, kicks, fires, and just missed low. Count now 1-2 to Lentini. He came in tonight tied for 5th in the league in hitting at .317. Well, De La Cruz to the belt. And the 1-2, breaking ball, and this one yanked and caught in the Ducks bullpen. A foul ball, not by much, but it had crossed the line, and one of their relievers guarding down there speared it.
I think my heart almost stopped seeing that, Daryl. I mean, that thing was pretty borderline.
It's close. And with the shadows here, I didn't have a great look at it to begin with, and all of a sudden it's being caught down there. No, well, here's the stretch. De La Cruz will try it again. He deals and missed, up and in. Now 2-2. Revs a 6-1 lead here in the third. Calvin trying to record his first out of the inning. Revs right now 2-2 on this homestand. That was the pitch, and that's down low, a full count. They have one more here tomorrow night before heading out on the road, beginning with a 3-gamer in Sugar Land starting Friday, then an off day Monday, and then on the road at Somerset for 3 next week. Move to first, back standing is Vega. The throw a little low, but Nash able to reach it. We will not be done in 2 hours and 11 minutes tonight, by the way.
No. Not unless something remarkable happens over the next hour.
Just dawned on me that that would not be happening tonight. Runner goes, and a ground ball base hit to left. Lentini finds the hole. And on 3-2, even with no outs and down 5, they were willing to send Vega. He'll only advance 1 base, but Lentini 2 for 2 in the night, and Long Island trying to answer back with something. They have their first 2 men on.
This was the trouble Tony Pena was able to stay out of through the entirety of last night's game. He didn't face the Ducks with multiple men on base. Seems to be a team, Long Island, that once they get a few runners on, it's very hard to stop them.
Dan Lyons, the hitter, popped up in center his first time. Pitch here, a breaking ball and a called strike. De La Cruz starts him with the hook, a good one to get ahead. Lyons, the K-man this evening. De La Cruz, originally an Indians farmhand, kicks and fires, and a breaking ball down low. Made it to AAA with the Dodgers and Orioles. And it was at AAA when he really became a reliever for the first time, a starter earlier in his career, now starting again. And the Revs will stir in the bullpen. They don't want to let this early lead get away if he struggles, as he misses inside on the next one, 2-1. And unfortunately, the one thing that I think he could have done to get the bullpen up this early is not throw strikes after that big outburst. Here's the 2-1, and a ground ball to short. Wilson's got it, shovels to Dre, and the turn is a double play. 6-4-3, that's huge. And Perez stumbling right over Lentini's takeout slide. He hung in there to make the good throw. Runner to third, but it comes with 2 outs. Just what Calvin needed.
Oh boy, did he need that. I figured Mace was going to have a short hook on him. Seeing what Lancaster did earlier today, losing in Bridgeport, you have a chance to go up 3 for the entire division. You want to get him out if he's really struggling.
Here's Ruben Gotay, who takes outside.
You had all your relievers fresh because DeMarc was the only one who pitched yesterday with Pena going 8 innings, but De La Cruz getting the 2 outs for the price of 1. He'll certainly take that.
Pitch here, down and in, and it skips away from Tejeda, and coming in to score is Vega. A wild pitch down and in that goes to the backstop. De La Cruz with his second wild pitch, and it's a 6-2 lead. Now he had a chance to get out of it unscathed, but That'll assure that the Ducks score at least one. The leadoff walk comes home. De La Cruz back to the windup. The 2-0 to go tie. That misses high. The Revs even have more fresh arms in the bullpen tonight with Tyrell Harris activated and Luis Perdomo finally here. Pitch is over for a strike, 3-1. Gotye a single to left in the first inning. It's his second at bat. The 3-1 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Good fastball from De La Cruz. Back to run the count full. I do have to think, with it being cold and so windy tonight, it is going to be tougher for the pitchers to command things also. Here's the payoff pitch, and a swing and a chopper swatted foul down at the end of the Long Island dugout. Now, does that board say 56, Will? Or is that 66 degrees?
Oh, it has to be 66. It's always warmer on the Clippers clock than it should be. Yeah, it's 66.
Here's a ground ball, deep short. Wilson trying to backhand, and it bounces off the heel of his glove. No play. Gotye will be safe with an infield hit. Wilson would have had to pick it cleanly and make a heck of a throw from there. It'll be a 2-for-2 start for Gotye, and Fletch, with the inning continuing, will come out and pay a visit. And De La Cruz, I'm sure a challenge for him also, having sat in the dugout that long. You're not going to complain about your team scoring 6 for you, but to come out and still be sharp, a lot of pitchers do struggle with that. On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, Will, a big final earlier today, Revs fans interested in.
Yeah, Bluefish 9-8 winners over the Barnstormers, that morning game at the Harbor Yard. So 2 other games going on tonight aside from this one. Top of the 4th from New Britain, Bees down 2-0 to Somerset. And Southern Maryland and Sugarland have yet to begin down in Texas. Southern Maryland late winners last night, 2-1 in 12 innings, giving the Revs an extra game's cushion over the Sugarland Skeeters, who are in danger of falling to 500 tonight.
Here's Tyler Colvin. He swings first pitch and jacks one, but way foul. Yanks it over the picnic pavilion and right. And all that is a strike. Had a sac fly line drive in the first. It is Checo who's up for the Revs in the bullpen, but De La Cruz obviously would love to hang around for a few innings. He deals, and a curveball swung on and missed. Had Colvin in a bit of a knot there on that swing. That was a long day for Southern Maryland yesterday. They flew bright and early and played 12 innings, but got the win.
They slept well tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, last night, I'm sure.
I hope they did. There's the 0-2. And a swing and a bouncing ball. Second base, Perez to his left, backing up. He's got it. He'll sidearm to first, and De La Cruz escapes with no further damage. 1 run home on 2 hits, 1 left. The Revs will signal for Checo to sit down in the bullpen, and De La Cruz will stay in this one. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's York 6, Long Island 2.
Take it from me, guys. You want to make life happier? Your wife wants a nicer lawn, the kind of lawn you see on Home and Gardens and Martha Stewart. Here's a hint. You're not alone. Call your pals at Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. They've got a way with lush lawns that the ladies like. And as you know, happy wifey, happy hubby. Winky face. Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care. World-class care right in your backyard. 717-292-9994.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Being one with nature, we can help. Contract force you to churn out mobile app promos? At least make them fun. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. One coupon per child per game.
York Sports on your mobile device or online at WOYK1350.com.
Bottom of the third, the Revs with a 6-2 lead. They are in the Long Island bullpen already. Right-hander Kevin Vance will take over. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Early exit for Blevins tonight.
Vance making his 15th appearance. He's 1-1 with a 5.53 ERA. 8 earned runs over 13 innings of work. Gave up a couple of runs against Lancaster in his last outing all the way back on May 31st. So here's a guy who hasn't pitched in over a week, being asked to chew up considerable innings after Blevins only lasts the 2 innings that he went.
Now they do have 11 relievers. Blevins 2 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He walked 2, struck out 1. 51 pitches, 28 for strikes, 23 for balls. And Alfredo Marte, who started the 6-run second inning with a hit by pitch, will lead things off. He scored on a Pounds double, which might end up being forgotten in that big inning with the Tejeda slam and the Nash solo shot. Vance, the righty, deals, and Marte starts but leaves it high. They appeal to first, and he did hold off. Vance, another 6-foot righty, 25 years old, from San Diego. He went to Torrey Pines High School, which sounds nice, right by the golf course, and then went across the country to UConn as he misses up high. A 2-0 count on Marte. 19th round pick of the White Sox in 2011. And last season had signed with Long Island before the year, but was picked up by the Diamondbacks before having a chance to suit up. Pitch to Marte, an excuse-me check swing that comes flying back foul, just right of the net. He's at 3 levels in the Diamondbacks system last year. He made it as high as Double-A with the White Sox before that. And now his first year with Long Island. Nods yes. Here's the stretch and the 2-1. And a cutter across for a strike. Been pretty much a career reliever. 10 starts early in his career. Count even on Marte with Pounds and Thurber due this inning. And the 2-2, a curveball, swing and a miss. Big bite on that hook as it tumbled straight into the dirt. Marte, a strikeout victim. That's the same way that Blevins began his outing. His only strikeout came from his first hitter.
Well, Vance has had a little more time to work on that curveball as his baseball season has started. He was playing all the way back in February for the Filipino national team in the 2017 World Baseball Classic qualifiers.
Here's Pounds, and he swings and drives one the other way down the line in right, but fading foul onto the picnic area. Pounds giving it a ride the other way. RBI double to the opposite gap last inning. Already off to a productive night. Revs a 6-2 lead. And Kevin Vance, that doesn't sound like a Filipino name, as Pounds swings and misses, but there's so many, ancestor or relative rules in which you can play for various teams in the world competitions. Always from the stretch, and the 0-2. Curveball, and Pounds swings and foul tips it, and it's squeezed just above the dirt. Mike Blank hangs on to it. And Kevin Vance comes in with a pair of strikeouts, both on curves, to start his outing. 2 down here in the bottom of the third. And Charlie Thurber to the plate. He flied to right in his first at bat. Sun's still shining brightly throughout much of the outfield and the right side of the infield. Pitch to Thurber, a slider that breaks down low. Left side of the infield about half shadow, half sunlight. Revs a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the third inning. Now the 1-0, and that bounced in front of the plate and right past Blank all the way back. 2-0. Tomorrow night, final game before the Revs head on the road for a week. 6:30 start. Micah Owings will be getting the ball. Jack Snodgrass for Long Island. Here's a ground ball slapped to short. Lyons to his right. He'll backhand it, throws to first, and that'll end the inning. Now 1-2-3 third for Vance out of the bullpen. We'll go to the fourth. Will DeBoer with the play-by-play as the Revs lead the Ducks 6-2.
Smith, Mayer & Little is a holistic wealth management group with one product, advice. We aim to simplify our clients' lives, help them retire comfortably, and build lasting legacies for their families and the causes they care about. Our purpose is simple, to make a meaningful difference in the lives of our clients, our community, and the world in which we live with the advice we provide. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. We make our living by making a difference. Visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
How does it feel to win $100,000 home makeover from the Pennsylvania Lottery with top prizes of $100,000? It's amazing! Because the instant you play could be the instant you win. And even if you don't win instantly, you can enter the second chance drawings online at PALottery.com for a chance to win a $100,000 home makeover or one of 1,000 other prizes. The Pennsylvania Lottery. Keep on scratching. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Eric Hosmer's got nothing on this. Mad Dash Grilled Cheese is comfort food at its finest. Mad Dash is Central PA's favorite artisan grilled cheese truck, bringing you creative concoctions with the freshest and most flavorful ingredients. Available for food truck festivals, weddings, corporate, and private caterings. Find Mad Dash this year along the third base line at Peoples Bank Park for all York Revolution home games. Call 717-574-5168 or visit online at mad-grilledcheese.com. Mad Dash Artisan Grilled Cheese. Welcome home.
First in York, first in sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the fourth from Peoples Bank Park. Revs a 6-2 lead over the Ducks, and the first pitch from Calvin De La Cruz is a fastball right down George Street for called strike one. De La Cruz, a rough third inning, 25 pitches, and there's a line drive into left field. Going back on Thurber, he still goes back, and it's off of the top of the wall. No home run is the signal from the third base umpire, so Cody Plunkett pulls in with a leadoff double, and more trouble right off the bat for Calvin De La Cruz. For Puckett, his 8th double of this season. Long Island, a very double-friendly team. They've got 88 on the season, at least coming in. Now up to 89, and they'll have another run in scoring position immediately. And 3 chances to bring him around. Mike Blank will get the first crack at it. A fly ball to center his first time up. And Blank, the catcher, stands in. A tall 6'4". The first pitch from De La Cruz is a fastball, missing outside, ball one. Blank, of French-Canadian descent. He was born in Granby, Quebec. Now makes his home as far away as you possibly can. As this one nibbles at his ankles, it's low and in for ball two. Far away as you can possibly be while staying on the continent of North America. Ruidoso, New Mexico. Boy, he must have really not liked Quebec. De La Cruz gives a look back to the runner. The 2-0 pitch now, left it outside, 3 balls and no strikes, and I can assume Checo will be getting up again. Revs not wanting to let this one get away. It's a 6-2 lead right now. On each side, each with 5 hits. 3-0, outside, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk issued to Blank after the double. And Kelvin De La Cruz is not very sharp tonight. Perhaps the uncharacteristic wind and chill that's doing him in. If I'm Ace, I'm looking down my bench to see if I can find me a guy who is used to pitching in the cold weather. At least more used to it than De La Cruz, who grew up in the Dominican Republic. The first pitch is a strike called at the knees to Blake T. Cody, 0-1. Michael Click is one. He is from around this area, Media, Pennsylvania. Checo is a New Yorker by trade, so that's the man who's warming up right now. 0-1 pitch left outside at 77, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Ron Scudders, he makes his home in Maryland right now, but he's from Curacao originally. Probably not the best option for the cold weather. That's really it. 1-1, lifted out into center field. Marte going back on it, chasing it to his left. And instead, there's a catch by Repko, who comes over. They collide and stand up and just sort of talk to each other. So, yeah, how was the game last night? Oh, yeah, it was great. Good talk. Over to third goes Puckett on an out that could have been a lot worse for the Revs. Repko makes the squeeze. It's a productive out for Blake T. Cody. And it puts men on the corners with 1 out, and Mike Dowd, the man of the moment. Dowd flew out to center his first time up. Massachusetts native, used to playing in the whipping wind. First pitch, reached out for it, fouled it back to the screen, 0-1. Revs up 6-2 in the bottom of the 4th, putting up a 6th spot in the bottom of the 2nd inning. An RBI double by Brian Pounds, a grand slam by Isaiah Tejeda, and the league-leading 12th home run by Telvin Nash. Now the 0-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2, tied him up inside. And the count 0-2 to Mike Dowd. Kept the strikeout totals low, just 17 for Dowd in his 26 games. Now De La Cruz, the 0-2 pitch, a bouncer over to third, scooped by Pounds, a flip to second for 1. Perez goes to first, double play. Around the horn to get him out of trouble. Kelvin De La Cruz has a new best friend. For the Ducks, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Middle of 4th, your score. York 6, Long Island 2 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Hey sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Stuck in line at the dry cleaners? No problem. Hung up in Helsinki? Say hi to our Finnish friends for us. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports. Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, June 17th with a Bruce Arians Gnome giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Come on, Colin Cowherd.
We fell in love with a three-point shot. Oh, it solves everything. Three-point shot solves everything. No, it doesn't. It creates so many blowouts. Again, I'm comparing Golden State to what Oregon football did. They created a system. They beat everybody to the punch, and good for them. I'm for innovation. But I don't want football to look like every 13 seconds you have a football play and there's no huddles.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays at 3 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. Your county, your teams. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Nice traditional baseball song by John Fogerty, bringing us back for the last of the fourth. Number 4 stepping to the plate. That's Josh Wilson. It's Wilson, Repko, and Tejeda due up with the Revs a 4-run cushion at 6-2 as we go into the bottom of the fourth. Forception much. Josh Wilson, a single and a run back in that 6-run second inning. And Wilson with a very classic batting stance, straight up, not much movement of the bat. Will stand in to face the first pitch from Vance, and he gulps it foul and out of play. That one heading towards the first base side gate. And the fan who's walking in from Stewartstown immediately has a souvenir. Vance standing and getting the sign from Blank. Now he's got it. The windup and the 0-1 pitch. A breaking ball below the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Wilson. Wilson, the Pittsburgh man, also used to playing in very late spring chills. And there's an excuse me foul once again. That one heading straight into the dugout, whizzing by the left ear of Mark Mason, who's all smiles now after seeing his light flash before his eyes momentarily. Well, Mason's only 4 wins shy of surpassing Andy Etchebarren for the most wins as a manager in Revs history. You don't want to fall short that way. 1-2 pitch, that's above the letters, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wilson, who has not been yanked to the game after nearly killing his manager. Vance sets, hands at the chest. Here's the kick in the 2-2. A breaking ball chopped over to third. Diving stop by Puckett, but it rims out of his mitt. And Josh Wilson, the beneficiary of an infield single. That gets the Revs going in the bottom of the fourth. So the first hit Revs hitting has gotten off of Long Island bullpen all series. They struck out 3 times in the 8th inning against Kern yesterday, and then Vance went 1-2-3 through the 3rd. Jason Repko up now, a walk and a run in that last inning, and now he is plunked in the left shoulder. Second hit batsman of the night by Duck pitching. Unintentional, clearly. And that sets the table for a man who's already got 4 RBIs today, Isaiah Tejeda. Tejeda, the grand slam in the second, broke it open. Now he'll get the chance to up his total even more. For Tejeda, his home runs come in bunches. Came in with 2 on the season. Both of those coming in 1 game on the last homestand. One of those games against Southern Maryland. I actually checked that. That was the beginning of the Somerset series. He had a 3-run homer in the 2nd inning and a solo homer in the 6th. Back on May 27th. Will it be deja vu all over again? First pitch from Vance. A fastball on the outside corner called strike 1. The Revs with 2 home runs in that second inning. They're 50th and 51st in their first 46 games of the 2016 campaign. Can they make it 3 tonight? Vance the 0-1 pitch. Jammed him, and Tejeda fouls it back to the screen. 0-2. York already up 6-2 for the moment. Wilson on second. Repko on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th. Ducks warming up another right-hander. How long will Vance have? Takes a look back at second base. Long look at Wilson. Now the 0-2 pitch. That's low and inside. Nice block by Blank. And the count now 1-2. Wind not quite as violent as it was at first pitch. That flag out in right center field, not constantly in a straight formation. It is fluttering a bit more. It's still noticeable, but not entirely palpable. Those mean the same thing, don't they? You know, forget it. 1-2 pitch, left it high and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paramount, there's your word. Noticeable, but not paramount. Noticeable is the wide margin on the scoreboard for the Revs. 6-2 over Long Island. 6 runs on 6 hits for the Revs. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Ducks. Nobody's committed an error yet. Expected by Long Island, the best fielding team in the Atlantic League. 2-2 pitch. That one is low. Squirts out of the mid of Blank. Runners hold, and now Tejeda, who was down on the count 0-2, has worked it all the way back to full. With a couple of speedy runners here, I wonder if Polo's going to put the green light on at third base to have both Wilson and Repko run on the full count pitch. Tejeda doesn't strike out very often, so you trust him in that department. Vance ready, gives a look back to Wilson, and now Tejeda calls time. Trying to get into the head of Vance. He got into Blevins' head to the tune of a grand slam in the second inning. Can he do something similar to Kevin Vance? We shall see. Runners go. The payoff pitch is outside, ball 4. Vance upset with himself. Grabs the ball back from Blank. He walks Tejeda to load the bases. Whatever it was, Tejeda stepping out, the runners deking. It worked, and now the Revs have loaded the bases with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. By the way, defensive change at the beginning of this half inning. Wessinger is the new shortstop for the Long Island Ducks, so Matt Wessinger comes on to replace Dan Lyons. Not quite sure why. Rather important for the Ducks. That's probably their last position player, assuming that Sean Burrows can't go today. Also not going any further is Vance. He is out of the game. And the new pitcher for the Long Island Ducks is Dan Blewett. This pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Blewett, the 3rd pitcher of the evening for the Long Island Ducks. He comes in to his 18th game of the year, 0-1 with a 7.10 ERA. Last pitch a scoreless inning against Lancaster in Pennsylvania on June 2nd. And of course, this is not entirely his fault, but frankly, if you're going to be a baseball player and your name is Blewett, maybe not be a reliever. They say Lyons took a ball off of his right thigh, and that's why he is out of the game. Either that or Darryl has invented some strange new dance move right next to me. You see the things I go through? Kevin Vance out after 1+ innings. allowed a hit a guy, and walked a guy. 2 strikeouts for him on 22 pitches, and he's responsible for all 3 of the men on base. Wilson, Repko, and Tejeda, third, second, and first. And waiting in the wings while Blewett warms up is one Joel Guzman. Guzman, who just thumps in this ballpark. He's hitting over 400 at Peoples Bank Park, 402. 5 of his 7 homers, 21 of his 28 RBIs, and he's got a big chance right here. Nobody out and runners everywhere. Revs a 6-2 lead, looking for more. So Blewett stands in, ready for the first pitch. The kick and the offering is right down George Street, called strike 1. Guzman already has 1 double in this game. He hit it out to the base of the LED board in right center field in the first. If he does it again, that's 3 more Rev runs. Blewett trying to choke off the rally. Dan keeps that left leg straight as he sets up, and now the 0-1 pitch is low and away for ball 1. The Goose back in a spotlight situation, just like the Stage Deli's got the spotlight. Outstanding soup, salads, and sandwiches. For daily specials and catering options, visit Stage Deli on George on Facebook and in person right next to the Strand Capitol Theater on North George Street. Into the wind, the 1-1 pitch, and he ties up Guzman, who had a weak little swing on a 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside. 1-2 the count. Goose ready. So is Blewett. The kick and the 1-2. Went fishing and strikes out. Joel Guzman flipping the bat to himself. He knows he didn't take a good hack at that one. Key strikeout for Dan Blewett. Now if he gets a ground ball from Telvin Nash, he may get out of this inning unscathed. Telvin Nash starting to heat up. He had a double yesterday and a solo homer earlier tonight. For Nash, his league-leading 12th home run. His first in the month of June. He had gone since the finale of the Southern Maryland series on May 26th without hitting a dinger. Over 10 games, now he off the schneid, trying to do another one. First pitch is low and in for ball 1. For Nash, that was his 20th home run in 59 games with the Revolution. Last 59 games. 15 in his last 37 here at this ballpark. And 25 overall in his first 107 games in a Revolution uniform. 1-0. That's a fastball, belt high for called strike 1. York a 6-2 lead. Wilson on third, Repko on second, Tejeda on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Middle infielders at double play depth, including Wessinger, the new shortstop. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2. 91 miles an hour, pumped right down the zone. And he's ahead of the count on Nash. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Revs trying to put this thing away. And already in the 4th inning. Nash standing back in, down in the count 1-2. Shadows engulfing the entire field now. Blewett hoping it's not a metaphor for himself. The 1-2 pitch is just a hair inside for ball 2, a fastball that he just missed on. That's an awfully close take for Nash. He does watch it go, and he'll have at least 1 more pitch to do something with. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blewett sets at the chest. The kick, the 2-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Dan Blewett against two of the big boys in the York order, Guzman and Nash. Now he's 1 out away from stranding the bases full of Revs. '15th and 16th strikeouts of the season for Blewett in now 13 1/3 innings. That brings up Andres Perez, looking for the hit to give him a 12-game streak. It would be a big one. 3 on, 2 out. Been that way for quite a while now, 3 on. First pitch from Blewett, and his breaking ball below the knees, 1-0 to Perez. Dre's had his big moments, the game-winning single from last night to give the Revs a 1-0 lead. That 3-run homer over New Britain a month ago, the walk-off. And with Dre heating up, hitting .385 over his last 10, now's the moment to get something done as he checks his swing and went around, says Brian DeBrouwer. DeBrouwer judging that Perez broke the wrists. So now instead of 2-0, it's 1-1. 6-2 York lead for the moment. Blewett comes set. The rock and the roll. Skips the dirt. Ball 2. Nice block by Blank. Perez with men in scoring position and 2 out. He's hitting .200. A couple of home runs for him and 6 RBIs. A pressure moment for him right now. There's one man who knows how to deal with pressure. It is Andres Perez. Dre calls time, steps out. Perez is 0 for 2 today, but a couple of hard hit balls, a grounder to third, and a line drive right to the shortstop. Blewett is ready. The 2-1 pitch is low and away for ball 3. Another nice reach by Blank to keep that one from rolling to the backstop. And now, a touch of deja vu. It was on a 3-1 pitch that Isaias Tejeda cleared the bases with a grand slam back in the second. Nowhere to put him. Blewett needs to throw a strike. The wind has died down considerably. Blewett, the kick in the 3-1. Inside, ball 4. Andres Perez draws a bases-loaded walk. In to score is Wilson. It is 7-2 Revolution. Another close take by Perez, and Tim Detweiler behind the plate has not been calling the inside strike in this game. Revs starting to take notice. For Dre, his 25th RBI of the season. That puts him near the top 5. That brings Alfredo Marte up. Marte calls time. For Perez, RBI number 272, upping his franchise lead. Blewett, the first pitch to Marte. That one is outside, ball 1. Marte got the 6-run second started by taking a pitch to the waist, and he struck out to lead off the third. Now he bats with Repko, Tejeda, and Perez on third, second, and first respectively. 1-0 is inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Now all of a sudden, Dan Blewett, who faced Joel Guzman and Telvin Nash with no fear, can't find the strike zone against Perez and Marte. And Brian Pounds, a somewhat clutch hitter, waiting in the wings on deck. The 2-0 pitch, Marte taking high and tight, 3 balls and no strikes. For Marte, I'm thinking you only swing if you see a fastball with no movement, belt high. Dare him to beat you, dare him to throw strikes. The 3-0. Marte does take the shade on the inner half of the plate for strike 1. 7-2 Revs lead. It can be much more with one swing of the bat. Blewett comes set. The rock and the roll is high for ball 4. Back-to-back bases loaded walks. In to score is Repko. Another RBI from Marte. He's up to 6 in his first 11 games in a Revolution uniform. It's 8-2 York. All these runs still being charged to Vance, by the way. As Long Island warms up another man, that is Jarrett Casey getting loose in the pen. Well, while we have another visit on the mound, we will pause 10 seconds for station ID here on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
Will DeBoer with you on a crisp and breezy night here at Peoples Bank Park. A lot of sitting around and standing around for all those in attendance in the 4th inning. The Revs with a leadoff single from Josh Wilson, and since then they've gotten all their base runners through other means. 1-hit batsman and 3 walks. Throwing a couple of strikeouts in between, and this is shaping up to be similar to that inning against, who were we playing? Southern Maryland a few weeks ago, where there were 45 pitches and no action. First pitch to Brian Pounds is a breaking ball. A lot of action on that one. Inner half for strike 1. We'll welcome Darrell Henry back into the booth so that we can reminisce about the most boring inning either of us have ever seen.
It was something.
At least there's runs being scored right now. 0-1. Pounds chases a slider in the dirt, and now he's down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes.
Good burger out here, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. White Rose providing those today. Now Pounds down in the count, 0-2. 3 on with 2 down. Blew at the 0-2 pitch. Golfed foul and out of play. Over the roof and out towards the railroad tracks. Pounds at just 3 for, well, they came in just 3 for 14 on the homestand. Already had that RBI double to get the scoring going in the second. Could use another one. 0-2, about the same spot. Fouled away down the first baseline. If he sends one more, the railroad's going to think it's under attack. Or at least that there's hail the size of baseballs only falling on them.
Maybe that's why the train has to stop in the middle of the day and go backwards and then go forwards again.
Some sort of superstition. We can certainly understand that. We're baseball announcers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line shot, right center. It'll fall for an extra base hit. In to score Tejeda and Perez. It's all the way to the wall. Marte getting the green light. He'll score standing up without a throw. A bases clearing double for Brian Pounds, who shrugs like he's Michael Jordan out on second base. It is 11-2 Revolution.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the short batting practice going the other way today worked. That's where a lot of these hits have gone. And that's a big one. I mean, if you get 2 runs on bases loaded walks, that helps. But if that's all you get, you feel like you left something out there. And Brian Pounds cashing in big time, making this a huge inning.
The second time tonight, the Revs will have batted around. Charlie Thurber is the 9th man to come to the plate in this inning, and the first pitch to him is looped foul and out of play over towards the third base bleachers. That's going home with a lucky fan from Mount Wolf, and they'll remember this game by that souvenir. 11-2 Revs, a 6-run second, and thus far a 5-run fourth. Thurber looking for his first hit tonight, and he pops one up to shallow center field. Under it is T. Cody. Squares it, makes the catch, side retired, but not before the floodgates opened up again. Long Island thought they had a little Dutch boy to plug the finger in the wall. Apparently, the hole was too big. 5 runs for the Revs, 3 of them on the bases clearing double by Pounds. Just 2 hits for York. No errors, 1 left on. End of the 4th, your score, York 11, Long Island 2 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
You hear a lot about CPAP masks these days, but here's something you don't hear much about. Over half of the people who wear a CPAP mask for sleep stop wearing it within a year. How's that working for you? Dr. Gordon Bell would like you to hear this. York Dental Sleep Therapy has dental options that can help many of those people. If you or someone you live with is struggling with sleep apnea, visit yorksleep.com and see how Dr. Gordon Bell can help return your home to peaceful nights of deep, restful sleep. If you're groggy during the workday, if you wake up feeling exhausted, if you would like to get your nighttime sleep patterns back to a healthy state, get a confirmation from your doctor, then meet with Dr. Bell at his office on West Market Street in Hallam. He'll evaluate your symptoms and discuss which treatments would best suit your situation. Dr. Bell can restore restful sleep and get you feeling better day and night. York Dental Sleep Therapy. Call 316-1299 or visit yorksleep.com to learn more.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Follow York Sports on your Android. Search Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 5th from Peoples Bank Park, and what a Wednesday night it's been. The kids are eating free, and apparently so are the players. 11-2 Revolution on just 7 hits in the first pitch to Anthony Vega. Misses high for ball 1. Kelvin De La Cruz, twice tonight, has had to sit down after long half innings for his offense. Now he works with a 9-run lead. And a fastball misses outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes, and Kelvin had this trouble in the top of the 3rd where he gave up a run on a wild pitch. Long layoffs and missing his targets, and he misses inside this time. It's 3-0. Vega walked and scored on that aforementioned wild pitch in the 3rd. Now the 3-0 is right down George for strike 1. Vega tasked with getting the Revs back into this one, or the Ducks rather, and he starts out by taking a walk on just 5 pitches. 73 tonight for De La Cruz. And so that flips the order, and Phelan Lentini will have his chance at the plate. Lentini 2 for 2 today, a couple of singles and a run. Now the first pitch from De La Cruz pumps the zone, 0-1. Lentini, one of the most prolific hitters in the Atlantic League. Came in hitting .317. That average is going up, and he cracks one foul into the third base bleachers before a couple of fans even knew that there was a spherical object heading their direction. And everybody's all right and taking it in good humor. De La Cruz has gotten double plays in his last 2 innings. 6-4-3 in the 3rd, and then around the horn in the 4th. So the Revs have another one in them right now. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a little tapper is foul to the net that protects the Long Island dugout. Lentini stays alive. He'll face another 0-2 pitch. Phelan standing back in. A slight hitch of the right elbow, similar to Joe Morgan, the Hall of Famer. 0-2 pitch, and a golf down the line and left and fair. This one into the corner. Rounding second and into third is Anthony Vega. Phelan Lentini is 3 for 3 tonight, this time with a double. And Kelvin De La Cruz, who's been spotted a 9-run lead, needs 3 outs to qualify for the win, and the question is, will he even get there? Can he will himself to 3 more outs? Has a lot of room to wiggle through. But how long will Mace give him? Now this is Wessinger up now. And the first pitch is a strike at the belt, 0-1. Matt Wessinger, the Syracuse man, came on in place of Dan Lyons back in the last half inning, a defensive replacement. And there's a breaking ball that misses for ball 1. Lyons left with hamstring issues. Now the 1-1 pitch, inner half, called strike 2 on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. And now they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Revs up 11-2 here in the top of the 5th inning. Wessinger batting with men on second and third and nobody out. De La Cruz kicks and delivers. Jammed him, it's fouled back towards the first base side, and we'll do it again at 1-2. Wessinger on the year, just a 188 hitter, 12 for 64. 1-2 pitch, fouled away again, over towards the luxury suites above our heads. Veteran of the Atlantic League, he was with the Bridgeport Bluefish last year for 79 games, hit .206, calling Harbor Yard home. Bridgeport picked him up from the New Jersey Jackals of the Canadian American League. That one taken low and in for a ball 2. De La Cruz nodding his head, saying, yeah, that's where I wanted to go. He just didn't bite on it. Former 5th-round pick by the Rockies back in 2012. That's Wessinger, St. John's University, where he came from. 2-2 pitches, low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reaching twilight as this game is a few minutes shy of surpassing yesterday's game length entirely. A 2-hour and 10-minute affair. Very nearly 2 hours right now. The payoff pitch from De La Cruz swung on and missed for strike 3. Got him with a breaking ball. Big strikeout for Kelvin, and it's 1 away in the top of the 5th. .85 pitches for De La Cruz. This will probably be his last inning no matter what happens. The only question is, can he get through it entirely? Ruben Gotay is 2 for 2 today. A couple of singles, one of the infield variety. Infield playing back, they're willing to concede a 3rd Long Island run as De La Cruz runs it inside, ball 1. Revs 11 runs on just 7 hits with no errors. Long Island 2 runs on 6 hits with no errors. Rare to see. Revs only out hitting the Ducks by 1, leading by 9 in the runs column. Fastball, inner black, strike 1. Calvin stands and gets his sign from Tejeda. Sets in the middle of the rubber. Now the 1-1 pitch is low and inside. An ankle biter to Gotay, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gotay, a former major leaguer, played with the Royals and the Mets and the Braves for a combined 316 games over 4 years. Hit .255 as a major leaguer. Longest season came, he played 98 games for the Mets in '07, and he gets tied up on a breaking ball that drops low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spent last year in the Mexican League with Saltillo. This is his first season in the Atlantic League. De La Cruz into the wind, the 2-2 pitch inside, ball 3. Boo Birds coming out in a trickle on that call from Tim Detweiler. And the count is full. Second straight full count issued by De La Cruz. 2 on with 1 out. The payoff pitch. And a bouncer over to the left side. Diving stop by Wilson. He keeps it in the infield but can do nothing more. In to score is Vega. On at first with an infield single is Gotai. He is 3 for 3 today, and the Ducks chip away. It's now 11-3. Lentini holding on second base as he didn't know whether that one was going to sneak through the hole or not. So now Tyler Colvin, the man at the dish. Colvin 0 for 1 today. He had a sac fly to score Lentini in the first inning and give the Ducks a very brief 1-0 lead. First pitch and a shot through the hole, right side, base hit. Kevin Baez gives the green light to Lentini. The throw coming in from Repko is cut off by Nash. It's an RBI single for Tyler Colvin, and Long Island is within 7 now. It's 11-4. And the chances that Calvin De La Cruz gets through this inning have taken a significant dip. Pretty much to none now, I would guess. Mark Mason walking out with Checo having warmed for quite some time. This should be it for the lefty. And it is, and this is the first time all season that Calvin De La Cruz will not pick up a decision of any kind. 8 appearances, 7 starts, 3 wins and 5 losses. That's 8 tallies. He'll take his first no decision now as he leaves before going the proper 5 innings to qualify for the win. He leaves and Mariel Checo comes on. This pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. And Darryl, we've seen Mariel Checo come in mid-game situations before. He seems to be a stopper for Mark Mason.
Yeah, we've seen him in many different situations. In fact, almost every situation. We've seen him here. We've seen him in setup roles in relief. We saw him close by necessity last week. We saw him start very early in the year. But watching De La Cruz head into the dugout, you could see the frustration. He slammed his glove into the bat rack. He chucked his hat down. And he's a team guy. He'll be happy to hopefully see the team get a win tonight, but frustrated that he wasn't able to get a little more so on track. And early in the year, he was really on point his first few starts, and now he's in a stretch where he's battling the command a little bit. And I thought conditions were tough tonight too, with the cool weather and the wind, and he had several pitches that he thought were strikes that he didn't get. And that's not to make excuses for him, but not as easy of a night for the pitchers here tonight. And, not that any night's easy for them, but just kind of one of those where he was fighting himself a little bit. And if you're Mace, you want to get him through 5 and give him a chance for the win, but his pitch count was also getting up there and just wasn't quite as sharp as we're used to seeing him.
It was at 92, so Mace said, we're going to go with someone else, and they go with Checo. This is his 15th appearance, 14th in relief. 2-0, a 2.16 ERA. Gave up a run in the top of the 9th against Lancaster on Sunday, allowing the Barnstormers a bit of insurance in a 3-1 win. Checo's given up runs in each of his last 2 outings. Now he looks to slam the door on Long Island with the Revs up 11-4 here in the top of the 5th. And with Gotai on second and Colvin on first, he'll get Cody Puckett in his scope. Puckett, a double in the 4th inning, but he did not score. Checo, the kick and the first pitch is inside. Squirts out of the mid of Tejeda, but he's able to get it before the runners realize. So not a great first pitch from Checo. He'll try and shake that off, and come back at it. De La Cruz, the beneficiary of a couple of double play ground balls. Checo would love one right now. The 1-0 pitch popped him up. That's over our heads, out of play. And the count now 1-1. Two strikeouts for De La Cruz on the evening, and 3 walks for him. In all, 4 1/3, 8 hits, 4 runs thus far. He's got a couple more that could go against him. Checo, the rack and the roll with the 1-1. Golfed deep left field. Thurber going back on it, and it's off of the arch nemesis about halfway up. In to score is Gotay, and sliding into second is Cody Puckett. Colvin goes to third as another Long Island run gets closer, and they have scored 3 in this top of the 5th. It's 11-5.
Well, they are the top scoring team in the league, top hitting team in the league, and you don't want to let them believe here tonight. You've had 2 great offensive innings yourself. You've made up for lost time at the plate this weekend.
And it looks like they need all 11 of them tonight.
Man.
The first pitch to Mike Blank is a fastball at the knees, a called strike 1. Oh, this game's so diametrically opposed to what we saw yesterday that it's not even funny. 1-0. Now it's 11-5. And the line drive into left field. Thurber going back, makes the catch on the warning track. Tagging and coming home is Colvin. The throw goes to second base. It's a sac fly for Mike Blank. And the Ducks with the 4 spot in the 5th inning. It's 11-6.
Oh, the Revs have a full bullpen here tonight, so no reason to get too panicked about basically that last big inning essentially being erased or matched, almost. Still a comfortable lead, but you just don't want them believing so much here.
First pitch to Blake T. Cody. Swung on and missed for strike 1. 93 miles an hour with movement. No one's hitting that ball. And with that, we officially close the book on Kelvin De La Cruz. 6 runs in 4 1/3 inning as Checo lets both of his inherited men come home. But no decision for De La Cruz. Now the 0-1 from Checo, swung on and missed for strike 2. A fastball belt high this time.
I think if you singled one thing out with Kelvin's outing, it was walking the 9th place hitter and a lefty twice, and Vegas scoring twice, in fact starting this inning with the big lead. Although his struggles, again, they did happen both for the most part after sitting in the dugout for quite a while his team was hitting, so there may be something to that too.
Checo's ahead in the count, 0-2 to Blake T. Cody. Now the 0-2 offering, swung on and missed for strike 3. Went chasing on a low slider, comes up with the tin can. That will retire the side, but the Ducks get a big chunk of those runs back. A 4 spot. 4 runs on 4 hits with no errors and 1 left on. An official ball game at Peoples Bank Park, the middle of the 5th. Your score, York 11, Long Island 6 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Providing quality services efficiently and in a timely manner to its clients is the mission of the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins. GSLSC is equipped to handle any real estate transactions, leases, residential and commercial real estate settlements, zoning issues, and all matters involving municipalities. They are also experienced in the formation and operation of family real estate ventures that are tax sensitive to the needs of the investors. Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis & Calkins is an approved title insurance agency and can provide you with title insurance and legal representation at one low cost when buying a home or investment property. Don't risk any real estate settlement without an experienced real estate attorney from the law firm of Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Solomon & Calkins at your side. Phone 717-757-7602. They've been handling residential and commercial real estate matters in South Central Pennsylvania for more than 50 years. With mortgage interest rates at an all-time low, now is the time to buy or refinance. Phone 717-757-7602 today or visit their website, gslsc.com.
Get into the ball game with great savings and great weekly specials at your Sure Save neighborhood markets. Use your gold card every time you shop and you automatically receive savings and rewards. And get incredible deals on the new Best Yet brand products at Saubel's Markets, Wetzel's Market, and also at Nell's Market Fresh Foods. Always a hit and always great savings.
There's only one place for local high school sports. Sports Radio 1350.
Back for the bottom of the fourth inning. Another pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Long Island going to the pen once again for Jared Casey, the southpaw from Indianapolis, Indiana. A former Indiana Hoosier and Northern Kentuckian, college-wise. He'll make his 14th appearance of the year. No record, a .385 ERA. Gave up a run in his last outing at Lancaster on May 31st, so he relieves Dan Blewett. No comment on how he did the game, but yeah, he did sort of do that. Giving up the 3-run double to Brian Pounds. So now Casey will face Wilson, Repko, and Tejeda for the fifth inning after the Revs' second bat-around frame of the evening.
Enjoy those game notes tomorrow, Will.
Oh, I certainly will, Darryl. First pitch to Josh Wilson is slapped into right field. Long run for Lentini. It's back to the warning track, and he makes a leaping catch. Like a swan in the pond. Lentini flies out, makes that catch, runs to the Southern York Turf and Tractor sign. And one pitch and one out for Casey in the fifth. Just goes to show you that even an ugly duckling can turn into a beautiful swan at some point. And that's no comment on Lentini's looks. I'm sure he's a fine-looking gentleman. Jason Repko takes a strike at the letters, 0-1. Repko has scored twice today without the benefit of the hit. A walk, and he was hit by a pitch. Each in those big innings. And he watches one skip the dirt, ball one. Jared Casey, originally a member of the Chicago White Sox organization. He was drafted in the 32nd round back in 2010. And he gets Repko to pop one up in foul ground behind the third base line. Plenty of room for both Puckett and Blank, and they both played a game of chicken and came up short of the cliff. That one falls, and Repko, he's going to have another chance at it. They just showed Wally Shawn laughing in The Princess Bride and then falling over dead. Really, that's the perfect video for that. Just spot on. Scott and Brian have been spot on all year, and it just makes our job a joy. Repko given a second chance. What will he do with it? The 1-2 from Casey is low and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Never did get the sense that Mike Blank was comfortable in tracking that pop-up the entire way. He never really got to the spot to wait for it. He was kind of trying to figure it out the whole time. And then peeked up and saw Puckett, and distraction got the better of him.
Now the 2-2 pitch. A breaking ball that missed somewhere, apparently. And it's 3-2 now to Jason Repko. Oh, it looked like it crossed the bell. I guess it broke too late, though. It crossed high. Now the payoff pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3, and he comes right back at him with an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. Repko gives another look back to Tim Detweiler, the umpire, and that's 2 away here in the bottom of the fifth. Revs 11-6 leaders over Long Island. Now Isaiah Tejeda, the grand slam of the second. He came home on the Pounds double in the fourth, so he's been right in the thick of it for both of the Revs' big innings. 6 runs in the second, 5 runs in the fourth. Tejeda, the active leader in the Atlantic League in hitting. First pitch to him, sails out of the zone. 1-0 the count. Ricardo Gomez in the bullpen right now for the Revolution. We'll see if Checo comes out for another inning or if he's done his job for the night. And as a fastball, belt high, strike one to Tejeda. Count goes even at 1-1. Tejeda stands back in. The 1-1 pitch. Skies it foul and out of play over towards the picnic pavilion out in right field. Sky starting to darken a bit right now. Sun has dipped below the horizon, and a nice even mix of light blue, dark blue, and cloudy blue. Quite literally, as some clouds are appearing overhead at Peoples Bank Park. 1-2 pitch, rides low and in. And now we got deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Tejeda strolls back into the box. Plants the right foot, taps the plate once. Spins the bat around, now he's ready. The 2-2 pitch. And a pop fly. Drifting towards the right side of the infield. Gotay has a beat on it. Just into the outfield grass. Makes the catch, side retired. 1-2-3 for Jared Casey to go through the 5th. Revs in order. And the 5th, your score, York 11, Long Island 6 on the WOIK Revs Radio Network.
And here we go, folks. She steps up to the box. This is a real pressure situation. 2 kids tugging at her blouse, a long line of customers, and only 30 minutes to get in, get a dozen Maple Donuts, and get to the party.
Oh, boy, look at the time.
One of Charlie Donuts All-Stars winds up, and here's the pitch.
Welcome to Maple Donuts. Can I help you?
Yes. No. I'm sorry. I'm not quite ready.
Oh, she steps out. The pressure may be too much, folks. No, wait. What's this? A meeting at the plate?
Okay, Mommy needs to order our Maple Donuts now. Can you two be good, please?
And she steps back up to the box.
All ready now?
I am.
She's swinging for the fences.
I'll have 4 glazed, 3 vanilla sprinkles, 3 chocolate icing, 2 jelly filled, and 1 chocolate peanut covered.
Wow, that was Major League. She read every stitch of that fastball and knocked it clean out of the park.
Enjoy your Maple Donuts.
Oh, we will. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's get these Maple Donuts to the party.
There you have it, folks. Maple Donuts, 58 varieties. Ready whenever you need to step up to the plate.
Maple Donuts taste right.
Well, I finally did it. I took my dad's advice and joined his credit union.
Which one?
PSECU. I'm eligible because my dad's a member, but I joined through work.
Really? I thought you had to work for the state.
A lot of people think that, but there are lots of ways to be eligible.
I'm not really thrilled with my bank and all their fees. I need to check them out.
Definitely. It's worth the switch.
PSCCU is the credit union for you. Find your way at psccu.com/join. This credit union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick. Join me weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOIK.
Oh yeah, top of the 6th inning from South Central PA. Revs 11-6 leaders over the Long Island Ducks. Just need to cruise through the next 4 innings and they'll clinch a series win, bouncing back from dropping 2 of 3 against Lancaster over the weekend. And Mariel Checo is back onto the hill after getting the last 2 outs of the 5th inning. He will face Dowd, Vega, and Lentini. First is Mike Dowd. Grounded into a double play his last time up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch is a breaking ball right down George for strike 1. Mike Dowd DHing tonight in place of Mike Blank, who's catching, and that's not looked like a great move for the Ducks today as Checo skips one in the dirt for ball 1 as Blank has had a touch of trouble behind the dish. A few wild pitches, that pop fly in foul ground that he couldn't get to. 1-1 pitch swung on and missed for strike 2. Checo, nasty breaking ball. That one drifting towards dirt, and it's 1-2 the count. Didn't really see that from Dowd yesterday. Maybe it was just that Darren Downs was spot on with his accuracy, but I think we only saw one ball get away from anybody that whole evening. 1-2 from Checo. That skips the dirt and call it the broadcaster's jinx there. It skips away from Tejeda, and it's 2-2.
We've just about matched last night's game time through 5 innings.
In fact, I think we have now. It's 8:44. We started at 6:33.
There you go.
2:11. We've surpassed it. Can we go home now? 2-2 below the knees, and the count goes full. I was tempted to, in the notes today, follow your advice and write it down as a day game since we played entirely under daylight. Not so much, though. Payoff from Checo, and it's fouled away over towards the first base bleachers. Becomes a souvenir for a fan from Hallam.
The majors list a day game as anything at 5 p.m. or earlier, so that's kind of what we've gone with over the years, but it was tempting.
Another payoff pitch coming, swung on and missed for strike 3. 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Dowd was late on it all the way. Back-to-back strikeouts for Checo dating back to the last inning, and it's one away here in the top of the 6th.
Well, Long Island's going to have an interesting situation here soon. We mentioned how both catchers are in the lineup, one of them DHing. Now Dan Lyons goes down, so the only position player left on the bench tonight, Sean Burrows, and he's dinged up. So they're going to need some of these guys to get healthy quickly.
Threadbare Ducks lineup, and they've still managed to plate 6 runs today. And there's a fastball, outer half for strike 1 to Anthony Vega, who has scored 2 of those runs, walked both times. The problem for the Ducks is their pitching has given up 11 runs. 11-6 York lead in the top of the 6th. The 0-1 pitch, that skips the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. And especially important for the Revs as we look at our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard. Top of the 2nd from Sugar Land. Skeeter's already down 5-0 to Southern Maryland. So a Revs win here and a Skeeter loss would put them 5 games clear of one of their top competitors in the Freedom Division, as Vega swings through a fastball at 93 for strike 2.
Certainly looking at that series on paper, you would not expect Sugar Land to lose it at home.
Skeeters with a loss would fall to 500 for the year. Maryland is the windup. The 1-2 pitch is in there. Strike 3 call. The backdoor slider that catches outer black and rings up Vega. 3 strikeouts in a row for Checo, and it's 2 away. Especially important for the Revs to hold on here. Barnstormers lost earlier in the day, 9-8 in Bridgeport in that camp day game. So York came in to the contest 2.5 up on Lancaster. They can make it 3, matching their season high with a win tonight. Phelan Lentini stands in and watches a breaking ball on the inner half for strike 1.
That'd be a nice little rebound in a couple of days also after a somewhat disappointing home series this weekend against them head-to-head.
Checo shakes off Tejeda. Now he likes what he sees, but Phelan's going to call time and readjust his batting gloves. Lentini unretired today. 3 for 3 with a double and a couple of runs. Checo with the 0-1 pitch. That one's low and in for ball 1. Elsewhere in the league, bottom of the 7th from New Britain. Bees down 6-1 to the visiting Somerset Patriots. New Britain, one of these teams that's hanging around with the big boys in the Liberty Division, Somerset and Long Island. They're only 2 games back of first place as Lentini fouls one away. Count goes to 1-2.
I think their best chance would be, well, actually, to see how many times Somerset and Long Island have played each other already. But if they were to beat up on each other, I mean, New Britain, neither of those front runners is able to shake loose. Now, forget that thought. They've already played their 10 first half meetings, Somerset and Long Island, but New Britain's very much in the mix still.
You're always in the mix if you've got pitching, and New Britain, if there's one thing they have, It's pitching. League leader in ERA at 3.51 as a team as Lentini steps out again. Lost starting pitcher Josh Zide to the New York Mets earlier this week, so they'll have to plug that hole, but they have proven capable as their team's been decimated by signed contracts as well, as Lentini singles up the middle. He has 4 for 4 today. Phelan Lentini quietly putting together a 4-hit day, as quietly as you can say a 4-hit day is.
Guy is red hot. He was really one of the league's most dangerous top of the order hitters when he was in Lancaster too. The Revs have been dealing with this guy for years and years now.
And he's been pesky no matter what, and especially on the base paths, and Checo knows it already. Phelan Lentini, a notoriously good stolen base maestro. First pitch to Wessinger is bounced over to third, gloved by Pounds, who will go to second for the force side, retired. So no chance for Lentini to cut loose as Wessinger is retired on the very next pitch. For the Ducks, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. Middle of the 6th year score, York 11, Long Island 6 on the WOYK Revs Radio Network.
Did you send that email?
No, the server's down.
Again? That's the 3rd time this week. Did you call support?
Sure, great hold music for the last hour.
There's got to be a better way.
There is. Let SoCo Business Solutions maintain your current IT environment, evaluate your current systems, or provide support that's local and responsive. Contact SoCo at 717-505-8080 and let us be your IT solutions provider. That's 717-505-8080 or online at SoCoBusinessSolutions.com.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. Out for a stroll? No problem. Escape from Nicolas Cage's Doomsday Cult? Welcome back and catch up on what you missed. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time, to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
On air, online, and on your smartphone. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
(11-6) Revs as we head into the bottom of the 6th inning. Will DeBoer and Darrell Henry with you on the WOYK Revs Radio Network. Couple of big bangs for the Revolution. A 6-run second and a 5-run fourth. They're being out-hit by the Ducks 10-7, but the important number is in the runs column, and the Revs have a 5-run cushion. Part of the order coming up against another new pitcher for Long Island. This pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. The righty Nick Struck on to relieve Jarrett Casey. As it appears Kevin Baez is going to get each of his bullpen pitchers a little bit of work. First pitch to Guzman is roped deep into center field, going back on T. Cody to the track and the wall. And did he make it? Yes, he did. The over-the-shoulder catch. What a play by Blake T. Cody. Never stopped running and apparently never lost it. Guzman robbed of extra bases. A very nice catch by T. Cody, the Long Island center fielder.
He made that look a lot easier than it was. And the best thing he did to get himself in position for that is he broke the right way. It was straight over his head, and those are the toughest ones for center fielders to read. Which step do I take back?
First pitch to Talvin Nash is right down the heart for strike 1. Nash, that solo home run back in the 2nd inning, his 12th of the season. Far and away the league leader. And that one is low and away for ball 1 to the big fella. Nash last year in 64 games with the Revs, hit 14 home runs, so on pace for close to 30 in a full Atlantic League season as he takes outside, ball 2. He's a big bopper, and he's been the cleanup man for the Revs all season long. Struck's 2-1 pitch, lifted out of play over our right shoulders. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Revs 11 runs on 7 hits. Long Island 6 runs on 10 hits. No errors for either side. It's been an error-free series thus far. One a pitcher's duel, one a slugfest, but neither game affected by errant defense. Nash taking a couple of practice swings, and now the 2-2 pitch. Chases after a slider and just gets a piece of it. Ticks it back to the screen, and the count remains at 2-2. Calvin Nash had been in the midst of a slump. Has broken out of it with a couple of long hits in the last 2 games. Now another 2-2 is low and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Much better at bats tonight. Much more patient. And start to see that turn for him last night, I thought. And he helped set the table for that only run.
The off day did him some good. Payoff pitch. Roped into left field. That falls for a base hit. Calvin Nash with a 2-hit night. 3 hard hit balls in the last 2 nights for him. And indeed he is heating up.
It's a welcome sign.
So now, 8 hits for the Revolution, none of them yet for Andres Perez, and he needs one to continue his hitting streak and make it the longest for a Rev this season. He's at 11 right now, matching Jason Repko's 11-game streak to start the season. But Dre today is 0 for 2 with a bases-loaded walk and a run back in the 4th. Struck's first pitch is inside for ball 1. Dre, a gracious interview as always. Always fun to talk to him. The subject of a cover story on the next Revolution program when the homestand starts up again in a week. Deep breath from Struck. Now the 1-0 pitch, and Dre bounces one down the third base line, but foul. Over towards the Long Island bullpen. Inactive for the moment. I'll expect that will not last very long.
I don't know if I've ever seen a player as productive as Dre and as quiet as he. I mean, he brings no attention to himself, just goes about his business.
Does his job and does it well as Nash is chased back to the bag, and Calvin Nash in a position I don't think he's very used to, sliding into the bag, and it took him about 5 seconds to get up, I think just from the shock. The game seemed to stop for a moment as that ball was in Colvin's mitt and he didn't throw it at all, just staring at him like, what are you doing here? 1-1 is inside, 2 balls and a strike now to Dre. Just 32 years old. If he sticks around York for long enough, and entirely possible, like you said, since he loves it here, he could own the record book with such towering stuff like Thurman owns the pitching records. And he cracks one into left field, but right to Vega, who makes a shoestring catch, and Dre once again robbed of a potential hit. He may get one more chance at it, but that's the second out of the inning.
And 2 line drives tonight that he's been right on. Sometimes you just have nights like that. In the first inning, he had a ground ball that took a fine play at both corners to retire him on. The other 2 outs, both have been stung. Just nothing to show for it.
So with 2 down and man on first, Alfredo Marte comes up. He's jammed and fouls it over our heads, 0-1. Couple of runs for Marte. He hasn't gotten a hit yet. He was hit by a pitch and then walked with the bases loaded. So a whole lot, nothing for Marte. His other plate appearance was a strikeout. He bats with Nash on first. 2 down. Revs up 11-6 in the bottom of the 6th. The 0-1. Nice breaking ball. Crosses belt high for strike 2. Nick Struck trying to get through a scoreless 6th inning, and judging by the Long Island bullpen, this will be his only bit of action today. Struck a peek back to first. Medium lead for Telvin. The 0-2 pitch, line foul, out of play, over towards the first base gate, probably onto the train tracks again. Marte's hit the ball well since putting on a Revolution uniform, just finished up a decently long hitting streak, 6 games for him. 0-2 pitch again, pops it up, drifting towards the first base dugout, and it is over and into the bleachers. Another 0-2 coming. Seems like all these Revolution hitters, Darryl, are capable of putting together decently long hitting streaks. I'm seeing a lot of 6s, a lot of 7s, a few 5s. Of course, the longest, Repko 11, Tejeda 10, Nash 10, now Perez 11. Once these guys get hot, they stay hot, and that's why the Revs have the best record in the Atlantic League.
And pitchers get no breaks when they're hot.
Another 0-2 to Marte, who takes a bit of chin music inside, has to limbo out of the way. Frustration pitch from Struck saying, hey, stop fouling off all my best stuff. So the count 1-2 now. Southpaw warming up for Long Island. He'll probably come on for the 7th. 1-2 swung on and missed for strike 3. Got him with a slider. Marte says to himself, oh, pretty nice pitch. And that will retire the side. 1 out single by Nash goes nowhere. For the Revs, no runs on 1 hit and no errors, 1 left on. End of the 6-year score, York 11, Long Island 6. Darryl Henry will take it home here on WOYK Revs Radio Network.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
But last Thursday and Friday, we're looking at Golden State differently than we are today. The end was a good result. But then I wonder, did you want them to win? I don't know nationally if we look at them the way we did last year. An embraceable story, still love Steph Curry, the way they play, that style. Were you looking at Oklahoma City and saying, hey, it'd be nice to get them into the finals again? Maybe, Durant, maybe he and Westbrook get a title. I don't know if you were rooting for or against, but I'm still fascinated by watching Golden State. I love the style, and that style is not for everyone. Although, I'm curious what the record for threes attempted and made in the NBA Finals for 2 teams, because we're going to break it this year. Golden State and Cleveland.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Break out some ID. That's just good radio.
Mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Ross Brothers Barbecue is serving up the hits every Saturday night this season at People's Bank Park. Stop by Arch Street Eats on the third base corner and load up on delicious, fresh-made local barbecue. All of Ross' sauces and sides are made from scratch daily. All meats are smoked for an authentic barbecue done right. Ross Brothers also offers drive-through, dine-in, and carry-out from the restaurant at 3096 Carlisle Road in Dover, as well as delivery and full-service catering. Ross Brothers can cater any sized event from fundraisers to graduation parties to weddings. Ross Brothers Barbecue every Saturday night at People's Bank Park.
The radio home of the Revs. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Top of the 7th here tonight from People's Bank Park. Revs looking to notch another series win and make this 2 in a row. They lead the Ducks 11-6. Fine job by Mariel Checo. A couple of inherited runners came in, but he goes an inning and 2/3 scoreless on his own line. And Ricardo on his own. Yeah, I guess there's nothing I can do with that one.
Nah, not quite.
Ricardo Gomez comes on. Ruben Gotay up first, and a pitch missing outside. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Ducks. Gomez fires. And a swing and a pop-up foul, straight back. Gotay, switch hitter, bats left here. He's 3 for 3. Lentini at the top of their order, 4 for 4. 1-1. And a slider, a foul tip. Got Tim Detweiler's shin guard, it sounded like, the plate ump. Ball in 2 strikes. Gomez in his 17th game, no record with a 1.15 ERA, 15 and 2/3 innings, just 2 earned runs, 3 unearned, but will fire here, and a swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball, and Gomez wasting little time, 1 down in the 7th. We'll pause for station identification. This is Revolution Radio.
First in York, first in sports. Your only local sports station. The new Sports Radio 1350, WOYK, York, Pennsylvania.
First time tonight that Gotai's been retired. And here's Colvin. Gomez with the pitch, and it sinks in there for a strike. Tyler Colvin 1 for 2, an RBI single and a sac fly. 2 runs total driven in tonight. Gomez, the former Duck, twists, fires, and a breaking ball low. He's been with Long Island and Lancaster as well as York. Gomez, the stretch and the pitch, and a fastball inside. In fact, he was with Long Island for 5 games last year. 4 1/3 innings, 1 run. That followed a Mexican League season in which he pitched in the league's All-Star game. It was a fastball wide, 3-1. He falls behind here. 3rd straight year he was a Mexican League All-Star at mid-season. And the year before that, he was here in York. Here's a swing and a miss as it bounced off Tejeda's glove, but Colvin had swung through it, a full count. The last 3 years, Gomez, the All-Star in Mexico, he spent the whole year there in 2013. Then 2014, he finished the year in York. Last year, finished it with Long Island, and this year starting it with York. Pitch is down and in, a 3-2 slider, and Colvin diving as he kicked his back foot out of the way, and he'll take ball 4. A 1-out walk. And Cody Puckett up next. 11-6 York here in the 7th. And Puckett has helped erase, what was at one time an 11-2 York lead. He's 2 for 3 with 2 arch nemesis doubles tonight and drove in a run back in the 5th in doing so. Gomez fires, and a fastball just a shade high. Looked like he wanted that one but didn't get it. Quickly back on the rubber. Puckett never did leave the box. 1-0 and a slider, and he sprays a foul behind home plate. Just got the end of the bat on that one. And the throw back to Gomez a little high and off his glove. It rolls back to Perez behind second. Ball on a strike here on Puckett. Stretch from Gomez. The 1-1 slider breaks outside. Pop. Here's the 2-1 and a fastball away.
The most violent song about weasels since, or until Weird Al came up with Weasel Stomping Day.
I didn't know that one.
Yeah. Don't listen to it if you don't want to inflict trauma on your children.
3-1 pitch. High and tight. That one got away from Gomez, and Puckett walks. The back-to-back walks after the strikeout to begin the inning. Long Island still trying to fight their way back in this one. And Mike Blank to the plate next. Blank a fly out, a walk, and a sac fly. Now Gomez with 2 men on. He fires and got that one in. A fastball strike at 92. One more game on this homestand tomorrow night. Another 6:30 start. Here's a slider down and away with Tejeda sliding over in front of it.
And then, Darryl, the home-heavy portion of the first half schedule is pretty much over as the Revs have a 6-game road trip to Sugar Land and then Somerset. And then you've got 6 games at home against Bridgeport and Long Island. Then it's 7 games on the road after that.
Here's a shot, loop to shallow right. It'll drop for a hit, a little looper. And they'll hold the runner at third. Repko on the run will toss in. Bases loaded with 1 out. 2 walks preceding the bloop hit. Ducks with their 11th hit of the night. They're out hitting York 11-8. Revs have 11 runs on only 8 hits. And Blake to Cody up next. Tomorrow night, Buck-a-Book Ticket Redemption Night, presented by York County Literacy Council. Micah Owings against Jake Snodgrass tomorrow night. First pitch to Cody, swing and a miss on a fastball. Tickets on sale, YorkRevolution.com, 717-801-HITS, and at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office. Stephen Penny's listening.
Oh, hi, Big Pen.
Pitch here is foul tipped straight back into the net, and it's 0-2. You know, he'd have put on a display at Pitchers BP earlier today.
How'd you like that if you're an Arch Street house and we're used to dodging balls that sluggers hit? Can you explain it if a pitcher comes in and breaks a window?
Here's a swing and a miss. Gomez ramps it up to 94. Up in the zone and blows away to Cody for out number 2. Both of his outs on strikeouts. Well, it never fails. Some of these guys really impressive with the bat. I mean, they are great athletes and earlier in their lives were star hitters. They had shirts made last year as Mike Dowd takes outside for ball 1. And Stevens' swing was the the outline on the shirt. His action shot that Joe Dahl had snapped.
Yep, Joe was out taking pictures of Pitchers BP earlier today as well.
Here's a ball down in the dirt. Tejeda drops down on it, 2-0. Dowd a pop-up, a double play, and a strikeout tonight. Checo struck out 3. Revs pitchers have now struck out 7, with Gomez having fanned a pair. And he leans in and looks and nods yes. And the 2-0. And a fastball strike called. Dowd started the turn, did not pull the trigger, but it found the plate. And a 2-1 count. Gomez, originally from Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, now lives in New York City. And he fires, and a swing and a miss. Fastball on the outside corner, 2-2, as he tries to slam the door on the 7th inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. 11-6 York. And he's got his sign from Tejeda. The 2-2, and it missed a little high. Fastball at 92. He's letting it go well here tonight. Runs a full count though, and the runners will have a head start. Gomez ready, and the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called, a 3-2 cutter it looked like. It started at Dowd and tailed back. He stands there and argues, and Gomez strikes out the side. Leaves him loaded as he tosses the glove up to himself, walking off. No runs, 1 hit, 3 runners left. Stretch time here at Peoples Bank Park. It's the Revs 11 and the Ducks 6.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at Peoples Bank Park. Peoples Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Rich Eisen Show.
I understand that there are kids who are involved. Let's put the football mess aside and try and figure out what the hell happened. And if that means conduct a coaching search, we're cleaning house. This is horrible. This house is clean. Everybody, we're opening a window. Until I see anything different, reading this report, it seems like there's something that stinks to absolute high heaven.
Is this the button that plays? The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at noon on Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Hey, sports fans, great news! You can now listen to Sports Radio 1350 anywhere with the new WOYK mobile apps. On your morning run? Perfect. Strapped to a wayward dentist chair? It works better than Novocaine. Wherever you are, WOYK is with you on the brand new mobile apps. York's only local sports station just went mobile and global. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK. First in York, first in sports.
All about local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom of the 7th, Revs with an 11-6 lead. And the 6th different Long Island pitcher tonight will come in Patrick Kreider, left-hander, on a Maple Donuts call to the bullpen. Maybe tonight he'll get a chance to go a full inning. In 20 games, he's gone just 12 1/3. He's been used as a matchup lefty. 12 1/3 innings, 4 hits. Opponents hitting 103, 3 runs, 2 earned. 2-0 with a 1.46 ERA.
He's your classic loogie. Comes in for one man.
2 off the league lead in games pitched.
Long, proud history in the Frontier League. He spent 4 seasons with the Evansville Otters and a season and a half with the River City Bandits, Rascals rather. He's the all-time Frontier League leader in appearances with 237, and he finally cracked the Atlantic League last year, signing with the Ducks.
It'll be Brian Pounds, the first to face him. First pitch is swung on and missed. Pounds a big night, 2 for 3 with an RBI double in the second, bases clearing 3-run double in the 4th. He's driven in 4. Tejeda's driven in 4. Pounds a Revs season high 5 RBIs in a previous game as he takes high. That was the Saturday night comeback against Sugar Land on May 14th. Well, 1 shy of that tonight. The 1-1, and he swings and drives a foul into the picnic area in right. Thurber and Wilson due to follow him this inning. Now, righties are just 2 for 17 off Kreider. Lefties are 2 for 22, so he's fared well against both. 1-2, and a swing and a foul back. But he has been used in very short matchup situations. Stephen Penny says he's the reason they put bars on windows on the houses. It's the 1-2. And a swing and a bouncing ball at third, moving left his pocket. He'll cut it off and slings it across to first. And Colvin had to stretch a little bit, almost into Pounds, who was approaching the bag. There's one away.
You know, out of context, that actually sounds fairly sinister.
I mean, was it from the home runs he was hitting or for other reasons?
I don't know.
I mean, leave it to me to ask that.
What does Penn stand for anyway?
Here's Charlie Thurber, who's 0 for 3. First pitch, a breaking ball low and away. I'm waiting for another message from him. It's good to see him come out, though, and see his former team. We had him on radio during that big comeback in which Pounds had that 5 RBI game. Here's a ball low, 2-0 on Thurber.
His voice will be forever on the highlights going, yeah.
You weren't threatened, Will, were you?
Oh, not at all, he says as he sharpens his brass knuckles. I don't know.
And locks the door to the booth. There's a pitch inside, 3-0 on Thurber. Charlie back in there tonight and contributing right away when he joined the team last week. There's the 3-0. And that's over for a strike. Revs had faced a couple of lefties that he hadn't played against, and Mace needing to get him back in there tonight. He's a guy that I'm sure will need some at-bats. The 3-1, and that's down low and bounces back, and look at him run. He is taking nothing for granted, sprinting down to first base on ball 4.
That'll earn some points in the coaching staff's eyes, I'm pretty sure.
And even there, he doesn't swing the bat, but he gets to see some live pitching and track it. He got deep into a count there and ends up on base. But early in his season, I'm sure that he just needs to see some more pitching. Here's Josh Wilson with 1 on and 1 out. Pitch from Kreider is high and away. 1-0 on Wilson, who's 2 for 3 tonight. Pair of runs scored as well. The Revs with all of the offensive damage in 2 big innings. They were down 1-0 when they erupted for 6 in the second, including the Tejeda grand slam. There's the stretch and the 1-0. And a foul back off the net. Long Island got one of those back in the third, and an inning later, the Revs put up 5. So a 6-run second, a 5-run fourth, and that's how they've gotten their 11. Long Island answered the 5 right away with a 4-run fifth, chasing De La Cruz and making it not so much a laugher. Pitch to Wilson is down low, 2-1. Brothers from other mothers warming up in the bullpens. Frank DeJulio Jr. for Long Island, Julio DePaula for York.
I at first thought that Greg had just, written it down wrong. But then I realized, oh, wait, that's actually Long Island's guy, too.
Here's a foul tip, straight back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Revs 11 runs on 8 hits and no errors. Long Island 6 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Revs have won 6 times this year when being out hit. And Kreider with the pitch. And a swing and a shot into right center field, though. It's going to be run down by Lentini. It's sliced back his way. Wilson, who's got 2 hits tonight, that was maybe the best ball that he's hit tonight, but lines it, and Lentini able to get there toward right center for out number 2. Well, we go to the top of the order, and Jason Repko. Repko 0 for 2, but on base twice, and has scored both times, a walk and a hit by pitch. Kreider delivers home and misses high. Now, Repko told me that he is proud of walks and his ability to work at bats and help the team. I don't know how proud he is of hit by pitches. I didn't ask him, but he's now tied for the league lead with 6.
He's probably hardened by them.
There's the 1-0, and that misses inside. Well, he just stands in there and doesn't budge. If he can't, he won't. He'll just wear it for the team.
Speaking of wearing things, Darryl, I'll tell you about it after this pitch.
Please. 2-0 is chopped to third, backing up his Puckett. He'll glove it, and a long throw pulled. Oh, really? It pulled Colvin into foul territory. I thought he had come off, but the Revs aren't arguing it. And he made a great adjustment and somehow held the bag. Well, I can't wait to hear this as we go to the 8th. Scoreless 7th inning, 1 runner left. We head to the 8th. Revs lead it 11-6.
The more we help the ones in need, the more progress our community will make.
By focusing on quality education, income opportunities, and basic health care,
all of York County can have access to the building blocks of a good quality of life.
Together we can load the bases for our community.
And hit a home run.
Give generously to the 2016 United Way Community Fund.
Find out more and give now at unitedway-york.org.
Does your wealth advisor know how you take your coffee? At Smith, Mayer & Little Wealth Advisory Group, we genuinely get to know our clients, from their interests, goals, and dreams, right down to how they like their coffee. By understanding our clients on a personal level, we help them make wise financial decisions. In us, you will find a trusted confidant dedicated to your financial success. Smith, Mayer & Little, a wealth of knowledge about wealth. Get to know us over a cup of coffee or visit us at financialjava.com.
Janney Montgomery Scott LLC, member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC.
Come and celebrate 10 years of York Revolution baseball with the Celebrate York Series presented by Memorial Hospital. The series honors significant contributions from York, Pennsylvania's most notable events and favorite citizens with giveaways every Friday night home game. The series continues on Friday, June 17th with a Bruce Arians Gnome giveaway. Visit YorkRevolution.com for more details. It's the Celebrate York Series, proudly presented by Memorial Hospital for the York Revolution's 10th anniversary season.
Your teams all the time. York's only place for local sports. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Head of the 8th, Julio DePaula comes in. Revs lead it 11-6. So, Will, I hadn't seen the costume for the on-field promo yet. You had, and that's what you were referring to.
It was the suit of Velcro, made rather famous by David Letterman in the 1980s when he would hop on a Velcro wall and just stick there.
Anthony Vega up first, and he launches one way up in shallow center. Alfredo Marte in under it waiting. He makes the one-hand grab, and it's a one-pitch first out. Well, Will, my favorite, and maybe this is just because I haven't seen enough, but you showed it to me, was the how many Spider-Men can we fit in a Jamba Juice? And we're going to Sugarland this weekend, and there's a Jamba Juice.
Yes! Oh. Yeah, get a discount pack of Spider-Man figurines and see if you can do that.
Oh, YouTube's great. Here's Phelan Lentini as DePaula fires a strike.
I don't know if we've announced the pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts, but it is Julio DePaula who's out there now.
I mentioned his name, but I was stuck on Spider-Man as DePaula misses high.
It's hard not to be.
And the other one.
And it wasn't just Spider-Man at the end. They ran out of costumes. It ended up being 21 Spider-Men, Superman, a princess, Dracula, a dog, 2 monkeys, and Moses.
Here's a ground ball just foul down the line at third. Pounds gloved it and threw him out, but they called it foul. The 1-2 on Lentini. My other favorite, and again, it's just one that I stumbled across, but it was the Paris Hilton interview.
Oh, God. Yes. Yes, where he sets her up with a couple of softballs and then comes at her. So, how'd you like being in jail?
I mean, are those regarded as 2 of the best ever?
Yes.
They're 2 of the ones I've seen,
What's
and
crazy
I love them.
is they happened within the span of a couple of months. That was both the summer of 2007.
Yeah.
I can't believe I still know all this.
Well, you are the biggest Letterman fan I've ever met. Here's a ground ball poked the other way. Dre will cut it off to his left. Off balance throw skipped away. He did all he could. And Lentini's got an infield hit. He's 5 for 5. Dre was up the middle and it had to go way left. Lentini poked that one toward the opening. And he did great to get there and have a chance, and he tried to, while running left, get contorted to make a difficult throw. Bounced it a little bit behind Nash, but great effort. Now Matt Wessinger will follow. 0 for 2 tonight. That's the first 5-hit game against the Revs this year as DePaula misses high. And they don't have one yet themselves, so first 5-hit game for or against by a batter this season. 1-0, and that's in for a strike. 1 on with 1 out here in the 8th. 11-6, Revs lead it.
Now, Dave did that a few times with not just Spider-Man, but he sent space aliens into the Jamba Juice. He sent various other things.
The slider that misses wide, 1-1.
One of the most memorable ones he did. How many guys dressed as Easter bunnies can fit into an H&R Block?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
And he got 2 of them in there, and the H&R Block manager was just not having it. He threw them out. And then Biff Henderson, the stage manager, comes back, dresses as a big Basset Hound dog, and he gets thrown out as well.
There's a ball down low, 3-1.
And there's that shot at the very end where the manager's coming out and he's screaming at the Letterman producer, and the camera pans, and there's like 20 people in bunny costumes just waiting to go in. Most people would play along, but the ones who didn't, well, we remember them, and we have our fun with them.
I'm shocked that they didn't share the sense of humor.
Oh, they're the tax people. What can you expect, man?
Oh, my. Here's the 3-1. And a bouncing ball to short. Wilson to his right. He'll glove it. Fires to second. Dre will try it. And, oh, not in time. Close one at first. As the Revs nearly turned their 3rd double play of the night, it just developed a little too slowly, with Wilson having to go slightly right and play the second high hop. A man on with 2 down. By the way, one of our listeners, Cindy Scullion from Frank's Storm and Company, has a great sense of humor.
Oh, does she?
I might add, yes. Tax person.
Oh.
Here's Ruben Gotay who takes a strike. I'm simply trying to figure out if she's listening down there at the moment. I think I saw her earlier tonight.
Oh, Cindy.
Nope.
Ah.
That was all for nothing. There's a ball in the dirt, 1-1. Did you have a message for her, Will?
Oh, just that if she was hearing, if she would have let the people in the bunny costumes into her tax store to raise your thumb and just say, yeah, of course.
No doubt Frank's Storm and Company would.
Oh, sure.
We should go find out. Here's the 1-1. And a fastball. That's in there for a called strike.
All right, somebody get Nate Sterner on the line. I need a few interns, dressing room, and like 24 bunny costumes. Or a few mirrors.
Oh, what fun.
Oh, man, is this stupid.
It's the 1-2. Swung on and cranked foul. Yanked off the roof of the picnic pavilion, and I think it hopped up over the gate. Yeah, I wonder did the trains stop when they see the baseballs on the track? Like, is that the delay downtown on a daily basis?
Well, I don't know what it would be in the morning unless,
yeah.
I don't know, they're playing morning baseball here.
Fastball outside, 2-2. One day I was driving back in on George, and I'm waiting for the train, and waiting, and there's Mike McClendon walking down the street. And since he was walking, he could get here. There's a fastball down and away, a full count.
Basically, one of those times when you would look out and say, hey, Mike, you need a ride? He's like, no, thanks.
He had the right idea.
Yeah. Never take rides from strangers, kids. It's dangerous, okay?
Runner goes, pitch is inside, and ball 4. Gotye with the walk, and the throw back to DePaula. He whiffed on it. He was staring in at the plate, having missed his spot, not by much. There the inning continues. An infield hit with one out, and then after narrowly missing the double play, Gotye reaching on a walk. So he's on base 4 out of 5 times tonight. And 2 on for Tyler Colvin. Revs up 11-6 here in the 8th inning. And the pitch from DePaula, a slider, that sweeps right in for a strike. Colvin 1 for 2, RBI single and a run back in the 5th, and in the first a sac fly, so he's driven in 2. He's also reached on a walk. DePaula, a couple of looks back, and the 0-1 swinging a foul back against the screen. Colvin, 6 years in the majors, 3 with the Cubs, 2 with the Rockies, 1 with the Giants. Last year at AAA with the White Sox. 2 on with 2 out here in the 8th. And DePaula the stretch. 0-2. Slider down and in. Colvin had to dive to get his feet out of the way. That's the second time tonight he's had to do that.
And it seems like it's the third time in the last couple innings, both with Gomez and DePaula on the hill, that they've sent ducks scattering.
DePaula's second outing back from that mini concern that he had in Bridgeport last week. On the 1-2, and a fastball missed high and away. He's being tested tonight because that's his 21st pitch. Was in the game with a scoreless 8th inning, 3 flyouts on Sunday afternoon against Lancaster.
If he goes any much longer, he may not be available for tomorrow's game. Gomez had 26 pitches in that 7th inning. This will be number 22 from DePaula.
A lot of long half innings tonight.
Game's already eclipsed 3 hours.
2-2. Line drive, base hit to center. Hit hard for Colvin. They'll send Wessinger around third. Throw will go from Marte into third base, and it's an RBI single for Colvin, who's driven in his 3rd of the night. And the Revs' lead is now 11-7. The Ducks with 5 unanswered since York went up 11-2 in the 4th. They scored 4 in the 5th, and now 1 here with 2 outs in the 8th. And DePaula will try to assure that that's all that it is. Cody Puckett, a hot hitter, stands in next. First and second again. And the pitch to Puckett. He swings and pops it up. In the infield, Pounds hustling in from third to the grass. He's got it. Inning over. DePaula gives up a run, but maintains the cushion at 4. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Revs 11 and the Ducks 7.
Wednesdays are the worst. I've got to get the kids to school in time to get to work, then it's just one long day of meetings. But hey, at least I don't have to worry about making dinner.
Kids eat free with People's Bank. Save money at every Wednesday home game.
So now when the Revs are in town, I just pull into a People's Bank, pick up that week's coupon, and dinner is done. Revolution Wednesdays? Awesome. Revolution!
Thanks to People's Bank, kids eat free at every Wednesday home game. No need to be a People's Bank customer. Just pick up your coupon at any People's Bank branch and do dinner at People's Bank Park. 1 coupon per child per game.
Payne doesn't take Sunday off. Neither do we. We're open weekdays 8 to 8 and weekends 9 to 6. Just walk into WellSpan Urgent Orthopedics, 2319 South George Street in York, across from the Apple Hill Health Campus. Visit wellspan.org/urgent orthopedics today.
Struggling to find quality IT help for your business? Tired of being sold solutions from companies helping their bottom line more than yours? Sick of your calls being answered overseas? SoCo Business Solutions is your answer to maintain your current environment, redesign your infrastructure, provide local responsive support, and keep your data safe. Contact SoCo at 717-505-8080 and let us be your IT solutions provider. That's 717-505-8080 or online at SoCoBusinessSolutions.com.
The Revolution plays here. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Bottom 8. Revs lead at 11-7. Long Island with their 7th pitcher used tonight. James Lamangino on the Maple Donuts call to the bullpen, a right-hander coming in.
So real flashback for me, Daryl. I had a coffee shop in college. It was named Lamangelo's. Very, very similar.
How are you going to get this one right then?
I don't know. Lamangino. Lamangino. Of course, maybe it's Lemongino.
Well, it could be.
It's probably not. In any case, whoever this guy on the mound is, he's making his 10th appearance of the year. No record, a 2.89 ERA, 3 earned runs in 9 1/3 innings, coming off a scoreless frame against New Britain all the way back on May 27th. So it's been a couple of weeks since he's seen live game action. We'll see if the Revs can boost this lead of theirs that has been whittled down to 4 runs.
Lamangino lives in Ronkonkoma, New York, on the island. I know one of our previous hotels was in that town. Former Rocky farmhand. And he's another St. John's University product. As Tejeda will lead things off here in the 8th. First pitch from the righty is over for a strike. Tejeda, Guzman, and Nash for hopefully one final turn at the plate tonight.
That ought to produce something.
Generally, yes. Here's the 0-1. And a swing and a ball scraped foul behind home. Tejeda 1 for 3 tonight with the grand slam in the 2nd inning. Broke a 1-1 tie that the Revs had just secured. He's also walked and scored a 2nd time tonight. Lamangino from the stretch lifts and fires, and a slider got him swinging. 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Joel Guzman up next. Guzman 1 for 4 tonight, hit a deep double in right center in the 1st inning. And did not score in the 1st. The Revs waited until the 2nd to really make their presence felt offensively tonight. And it's been a big presence with 2 big innings accounting for all of the runs they hope to need. Here's the first pitch to Joel, and a slider. It curls in for a strike. And 11 runs on only 8 hits tonight, being out hit 13-8, but 2 big innings will do that. They've only left 5 runners. Pitch to Guzman is a called strike, fastball at the knees. Long Island is stranded 10. Well, a stretch, and the 0-2. Slider darts away. You know, I really hope for your sake tonight that they keep the ice in the dugout.
Oh, I'm sure. This is one of those run-of-the-mill 11-7 wins.
Ooh, look. Oh, no. A fastball got Guzman up near the hands. He does have some armor. He angrily yanks the left elbow armor off, reacting to the pain. And hopefully he'll be okay. Those are his money makers as he heads to first.
Perhaps a bit of chippiness here. That's the 3rd time the Revs have gotten hit by a pitch today. And remember, in the last couple of half innings, the Revs were on the hill. They've caused Long Island Ducks to make the dance of evasiveness.
Now Joel, no attention, being summoned from Chong. So he'll take his spot at first. Here's Talvin Nash, who tonight is 2 for 3 with that blast in the second. And the first offering is down low, a slider. And as if the second inning had not been entertaining enough after Tejeda's slam, Nash added one more. A solo shot just left of the batter's eye for his 12th of the year. Made it a 6-run inning. He's also reached on a walk tonight, on base 3 times. And there's a ball low and in. 2-0.
Ronnie Scudder is warming up in the York Revolution bullpen with lefty T. Cody due up in the 9th.
2-0. Oh, a foul tip that clobbered the catcher Mike Blank in the face mask, and it ricocheted all the way back into the stands to the left of the screen.
It had enough mustard on it that was like a line drive into the stands.
Tim Detweiler will give him some time, walk the new ball out, and brush the plate.
Strengthen the danger of Telvin Nash. Even when he doesn't clobber it, he clobbers you.
Well, he is a strong man, and he generates incredible bat speed. And that thing changed directions and clobbered the catcher. Here's a fastball low. And Nash will work a 3-1 count. He's pretty much had the count in his favor all night. On the stretch from Lamangino, he deals. And an outside strike call on Nash. It'll be a full count. Andres Perez on deck. One last chance to extend that streak. And not for a lack of hard-hit balls tonight. Revs up 11-7 in the 8th. Here's the stretch. And the 3-2 swing and a miss. Got him with a high fastball. And there's 2 away here in the 8th. Well, the Revs lost 2 out of 3 to Lancaster to start this homestand. After winning the first one, they lost 2. The off day seemingly doing some good as they're aiming to win the first 2 here and have a chance to close it out with a sweep tomorrow night. Heading into a night of little shut-eye when they fly to Sugar Land Friday. Here's Andres Perez. First offering is up and away. And the 11-game hitting streak on the line. He's 0 for 3 with a bases-loaded walk in the 4th.
And all hard hit contact, too. This would be a very hard luck over if he doesn't get on here.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. And he saw one toward the middle and just about came out of his spikes. 1-1 Andre, who did admit to you earlier that he knew about he had an idea about the 500th hit. Didn't know about 1,000 until his mom told him. It's the pitch, and he pops it up. At first, Colvin moving into foul territory, and he's got it. Makes the catch to end the 8th. Wasn't much more Dre could have done tonight to try to extend that streak. Hard hit outs all throughout the game until then. No runs, no hits, 1 left. And Ron Scooters will look to close it out. We head to the 9th. Revs lead it 11-7.
Kids today, with Facebook, texting, TV, and video games, seems like fresh air and sunshine are things of the past. Remember playing catch, climbing trees, wholesome backyard fun? Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care remembers, give them lush grass, healthy trees, the good old outdoors. American is baseball and apple pie. Kids have every reason to stay inside. Don't let your lawn be one of them. Heritage Lawn and Landscape Care, world-class care right in your backyard. 717-292-9994.
Money and business are essential to the strength of a community. So is cheering and celebration and music and fun. That's why York Revolution games, concerts, youth sports, special events, and more happen at a place called People's Bank Park. People's Bank has been serving York County for more than 150 years. Always cheering, always celebrating, always committed to the things that make York County great. And to you having a great time at People's Bank Park. People's Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
What if I told you your family of 4 could have an all-inclusive outing for only $55? The York Revolution are telling you that right now. The Family Fun Pack includes 4 flexible ticket vouchers to be used whenever you'd like, 4 food vouchers for hot dogs, chips, and drinks, 2 playground wristbands, and a parking pass. Again, $55. Have more than 4 in your family? Additional tickets and food vouchers are only $10. Buy online at YorkRevolution.com, over the phone at 801-HITS, or in person at the Apple Chevrolet ticket office.
Your home for Revolution Baseball. Sports Radio 1350 WOYK.
Revs with one of their bigger offensive performances of the year. They lead at 11-7 as we head to the 9th. And we'll aim to finish it with Ron Scooters coming on. Pitching change brought to you by Maple Donuts. Second time this year that the Revs have had 2 innings in the same game in which they've scored 5 or more. 6 in the second, 5 in the fourth. The other time they did that was May 14th against Sugar Land, the night they came back on Therm's number retirement night to win 13-11. Scooters comes on here in a non-save situation, up by 4. 15 outings, 1-0 with an ERA of 3.55. And Mike Blank, a big catcher for Long Island, will dig in first. Scooters ready to work, and his first pitch of the night is right down the middle for a called strike. They were saying that his fastball command has gotten much better, and his off-speed stuff has become more consistent. Pretty good combo. He deals, and there's a strike. He pours it right over. And he really struggled command-wise at the start of the year, but he has worked hard to iron things out and looking a lot like the guy that was here last season. Motions to go through the signs again. The high stirrups, he kicks, pauses, now fires, and misses low. Calvin De La Cruz tonight couldn't quite get through 5, 4 1/3, 6 runs. Mariel Checo, though, in line for the win. He went an inning and 2/3 scoreless, struck out 3. Then Gomez, the 7th, left him loaded. DePaula gave up 1, but stranded 2 in the 8th. And now Scooters, who fires home, and a check swing on a slider. Appeal to first, he's rung up. And there's 1 down here in the 9th. Saturday and Sunday marked the first time this season that the Revs have lost back-to-back games at home, and here they are looking to follow it up with back-to-back wins. And they've won 10 of the last 14 overall. Here's Blake Takoti, who's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And Scooters out of the stretch, fires, and missed up and in. Trying to go to 10 games over 500. Trying to go to 19-7 here at home. There's the 1-0, and that's inside. 10 over would match their season high for a 3rd time. Also for Mace, he's just 4 wins away from surpassing Etch for the most wins in Revs history. Tonight would be his 235th. The 2-0, and it's right down the middle. That's a strike. On our York Mitsubishi out-of-town scoreboard, Lancaster lost earlier today, 9-8 in Bridgeport. Southern Maryland has seen Sugar Land shrink the gap, but still leading 6-4 in Texas in the 6th. Now the 2-1, and a line drive, base hit to right. Repko toward the line, will cut it off. And Takoti's got a hit. That is the 14th hit for the Ducks tonight compared to York's 8, but it's an 11-7 York lead. One on with one out. Mike Dowd, the hitter. He's 0 for 4. One other game in the bottom of the 9th. Somerset and New Britain tied at 6. And Scooter's the kick and the pitch, and it's a fastball in for a strike. Look at the standings. The Revs, with a win, would go 3 up over Lancaster. They entered the day 4 up over Sugar Land. Pitch here is down low, blocked by Tejeda. In the Liberty division, Long Island a half game behind Somerset. If New Britain wins, they were just 2 back of Somerset and a game and a half back of Long Island. New Britain wins and this score holds up, the Liberty would have 3 teams within a game. There's the 1-1, swinging a foul out of play, back over the roof. Revs do have Mike DeMarc getting ready just in case. It would require one more base runner for it to be a save situation. For the tying run to reach the on-deck circle. Now the 1-2. Oh, did that hit him? That came close. Dowd just jumped back. A slider that started in and kept running. 2-2. Revs up 11-7 here in the 9th inning. Scooter's ready. And the 2-2. Swung on, slapped on the ground, foul. That hit, I think, a cup down on the steps by the Revs bullpen. I think it's Bo Vaughn who maybe had his drink knocked over. He looks in at the plate and says, "Come on. Why'd you have to hit it there?" Another 2-2. Swung on, slapped at first. Nash has it. He spins, throws to second. Wilson back! And Nash called safe. He caught it falling down and tried to slide to get his foot on the bag. And Brian DeBrouwer said he missed it. So the game continues. Oh, that would have been a magnificent way to end it. Within a whisker of a 3-6-3 double play, and Nash argued that he did get the foot on that slide as he went down while catching it. The 2 outs. Dowd on at first. And Anthony Vega, the hitter, he's 0 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs out of the number 9 spot. Lefty against lefty. And Scooter's with the pitch. It is up high. Nash will not hold the runner. He is back deep at first, near the line with the lefty up there. And the Revs playing Vega to hit it to the pool side of the infield. Here's the 1-0. And a fastball in at the knees, a called strike. With Wilson at short toward second, though, it's not a gimme steal for Dowd if he wants it. Well, the 1-1, and it just missed, down and away. (11-7) the lead. Scooter's ready with it. And the 2-1. Right there for a called strike. 2-2. And the Revs are a strike away from win number 28 in this first half. And a series win against Long Island. Scooters has his sign. The stretch. And the 2-2.
Swinging a foul tip squeeze. He struck him out swinging. Revs win 11-7. Back-to-back wins. It's a series win, and they'll increase the division lead as they blast it off in right field. And the Revs blasting off tonight. A pair of big innings early in the game. The determining chunk of offense. Isaiah Tejeda, a grand slam. Talvin Nash with a solo shot. Tejeda drove in 4. Pounds drove in 4. And the Revs will go for a sweep tomorrow as they take the first 2 from Long Island, winning tonight 11-7. For the Ducks in the 9th inning, no runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. Scooters finishes it. And an 11-7 win for the Revs. Will DeBoer is going to get Isaiah Tejeda, I believe, post-game. He's going to get rid of the gear first. Down in the field as he had the slam that broke a 1-1 tie in the 2nd inning. Gave him the lead, as it would be to stay. And here comes Tejeda to join Will, and we'll head down now.
All right, Daryl, we got Isaiah Tejeda, the grand slam that really broke things open here back in the 2nd. Isaiah, what were you looking for? What did you get?
I mean, I got fastball away. I was looking for that because we know that he was throwing to me a lot of breaking ball and all that shit. I said, all right, if you're going to throw the fastball, you're going to throw away. You're not going to come in because you're behind the count. So I was waiting for that pitch, book will swing on it. He got the result.
It's it all the way to right center there. Mace was saying in the pregame that he had you guys not pulling the ball at all with the wind the way it was today. How do you think that affected you preparing to go opposite field and then actually going opposite field?
Yeah, we was taking practice today, like hitting the ball middle of the field and right field. So the thing I think is just stay compact, stay short, and then thinking the other way, because if we try to pull with that wing, we're not going to get any hits. So that's the adjustment that we did.
11 runs today after 2 in the last 3 games. I'm sure it must have felt good to get them all back at once.
Yeah, I mean, we're playing hard, we're playing good, so we just execute the thing that we do in the practice, and just as a result.
All right, Isaiah, thanks, congratulations.
Thank you.
Daryl, back to you after the offensive onslaught.
All right, thank you, Will. Isaiah Tejeda, one of our Griffith, Strickler, Lerman, Salamis, and Calkins players of the game tonight. On a night where many contributed, it was Tejeda's grand slam, the Revs' 2nd of the year, back in the 2nd inning that gave him the lead, and as it was, to stay, as they win it 11-7, 2 runs short of matching a season best. Revs have now won 11 of their last 15, as they improved to 28-18. Season high 10 games over 500 for the 3rd time, and also now 19-7 here at Peoples Bank Park, where they enjoy the best home field advantage in the league. Now the Revs a series win here tonight, and again going for the sweep tomorrow. 11-7 is your final. We'll take a timeout. Post-game show follows next.
Tennis used to be a very polite game. Today, tennis raises a racket.
Flying feet.
The style, the play, and the players are intense, athletic, and hard-charging. Flying Feet Sports Shoes welcomes the evolution of tennis and its battling players with a full line of specialty tennis shoes worthy of the new game. These aren't stand-around, look-pretty shoes. These are co-conspirators for the court. Shoes that will